Hey everyone, welcome back to the Eye of Stone podcast. I'm Anderson Miller, alongside my co-host Dimitri Ray, and it feels good to be back.
It does.
Like we're officially back now.
Right.
Last weekend didn't count.
No.
That
But it was
was
a good start to what we're, like we talked about, the rebranding.
Yeah. Well, for anyone who's going to tune in later, as we have no live viewers right now, we have a whole new presentation that we hope you guys enjoy. It's us trying to get a little bit more serious with our podcast. And we also have a whole new structure and format we're going to be trying. So we're going to let you guys know ahead of the show what we're going to be talking about and when. So our show is going to come on at 12 every Sunday. And we're going to start off talking by one thing. And we're going to tell you, okay, at this time, we're going to try to talk about this thing. And we'll break it down like that. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. And hopefully we can stick to it because we're terrible with time management. So, Dima, do you like my hot pink cup?
It's very flashy. Matches your eyes.
It was the only thing that was available, so it'd be making a surprise appearance on the show. Are you excited to talk about these movies?
I'm very excited to talk about these movies. I've been waiting like 60 years to talk about these movies.
I have mixed feelings about at least one of them, but so for anyone who has seen our promotional art, we're talking about Memento, which is one of my favorite Christopher Nolan films, and then James Gunn's Superman. Very contrasting films.
Spoiler Superman conversation.
Yeah, well, everything we do on here will be spoilers. That's a good thing to point out as well. Very spoiler heavy conversations. So, yeah, I never understand why people look up things about movies if they don't want to hear spoilers. But
right.
Teach their own. So I guess without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get our special guest in here. Dima, I will let you do her introduction.
Okay. Do I do that before or after we bring her on?
Do it before.
All right. So our special guest for today and hopefully in the future during different times is my sister-in-law, Caitlin. Caitlin, welcome to Eye of Stone podcast. We are very excited to have you on officially, finally. We have wanted this for a couple years now because we know you are just as big of a fan of movies as we are.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, no problem at all. Yeah, she actually might be a bigger fan than both of us, which is kind of intimidating.
I don't know about that, but
well, so I've kind of referenced you in past content because I met you at Andrew's wedding, which was over a year ago now. It's kind of crazy to think about. But you introduced me to Letterboxd.
Yes.
And love Letterboxd.
Well, that's a big thing in the film community, and I kind of felt like an idiot for not knowing about its existence because it's a great tool, and I use it very religiously now. So I thank you for introducing me to that.
Yeah, I tell everyone about Letterboxd. I don't even know why, but I'm on it almost every single day.
No, it's great. I did my Superman review on there. I did 2 watches. So what's cool, Dima, is on Letterboxd you can actually do multiple reviews on the same movie and multiple ratings. And it tracks it. So like it shows the date that I watched it and reviewed it the first time. And then today I updated it and it showed that.
That's cool. That was really cool.
So, and I did go up on my rating.
Yeah.
As you should have.
Yeah. So the cool thing with Letterboxd is they do 5 stars and we do 5 stones, playing in our name. So that's our rating system is 5 stones. And I gave it 4 on my first watch. And then I went up half a stone or star on Letterboxd, but yeah. So, Caitlin, I'm going to let you decide as our special guest what we start off with today.
Gosh. Let's do Superman because I just watched that more recently.
I was hoping you would say that because Memento, that's going to be all cylinders. Like my brain is not prepared for that at the moment. So Superman will be a good warm up. I guess we'll start off going around the horn and giving our overall rating. So obviously I'm at 4.5 stones on this, which means it's almost perfect in my opinion. Dima?
Yeah, I'll go with 4.5. I definitely changed that from yesterday.
You did, and you went down.
I did a little bit, but it's me being very picky about certain things I saw.
Same. Same.
Mhm.
Kayla?
I gave it 4.
So have you seen it one time?
Yeah, but the more I started to think about it, the more, because originally I was like, okay, 4.5, but I went down
Mm.
because the more, mind you, I work in a movie theater, so I could see snippets of it in passing. So the more I started thinking about it, the more I was like, oh, but there's that, and then oh, they kind of did that, and I wasn't a fan of that.
Yeah. I mean,
So
that's I've been telling Dima, I think it kind of warrants seeing it twice to really be able to
mhm,
like grasp everything that's being presented to us. And
mhm,
I'm biased as a fan of DC Comics. I've wanted, an expanded universe in DC
mhm,
for as long as the MCU has been a thing. So I do feel like if we compare it to, there's a lot of debate about what the first MCU movie is, but to me, it's Iron Man. I think that really
mhm.
kicked off the central Marvel Cinematic Universe, and to me, that's what this is trying to be. But it's taking on the heavy job of also being in an established world already. So it's not like it's being
Yes.
established over time. It's all happening now, and you're just
Mhm,
cold plunge. Here it is, and it's very jarring at first. The first watch
mhm,
through is just like almost overwhelming.
Yeah.
And when I went and saw it with him the other day, it was nice because I felt like, okay, I know what this is now. I can just process what I'm seeing, and it kind of allowed me to give it more of a fair assessment. But it's interesting to me because you both went down and I went
Mhm.
up in my rating.
mhm.
And so I'm curious, what are things that you do and don't like about the movie?
So when they're in the portal world, again, this is me being super picky, and I know it's intentional.
Oh, the Pocket Universe?
Or the pocket universe, yeah.
Okay.
When they were, I forget what it was called, but pretty much the river that
The
Superman's holding the
anti-proton
yeah,
river.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It looked very again, it was intentional, but it looked very pixelated to me. And I think that bothered me a little bit. And that specifically is why I went from 5 to 4.5, is because of that. I didn't
Oh,
like
like
the
so
look
the
of it.
whole sequence or
No,
just
just
that part?
specifically the river itself.
That's a lot of people have a problem with that. And
Yeah,
I'm not a scientist, so I don't understand how
same.
a pocket universe or the rift that it's going to create. I don't understand any of that.
Right.
But as a general audience member, I was just like, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah.
Like
It's just
I
very
didn't.
boxy.
It is. I do think that's intentional.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I fully believe it was intentional, but
I
that
think
is the only reason.
it was like trying to distort reality is the idea,
Right.
or
Mhm.
like what you perceive. I don't know, but I get it. It does look
It was very Minecraft.
very messy with CGI. So
Yes.
that's fair. Anything
Mhm.
else?
No, no, that's the sole reason. Just that little
Really?
detail. Yes.
It doesn't bother you that Perry has a cigar in his mouth the whole time?
No, I love
That's
that.
not.
That was such a load.
All right, that's fair. Caitlin, what did you not like about it?
So I kind of have a list, so bear with me here. Um, I'd like to start out with, I think James Gunn. James Gunn is a great director. All right, I've seen a good chunk of his films. However, my biggest beef with him is that he just casts the same people, which is fine. Like, I don't mind that his brother has like a cameo in a movie. But if you look at the DCU as of now, his brother's in what? He plays Weasel
Hmm.
in the Suicide Squad and in Creature Commandos. And he's also GI Robot in Creature Commandos.
Yeah.
And now he's Maxwell Lord in Superman. And to me, then you have like Alan Tudyk, who's in Creature Commandos. He's
Mhm.
Dr. Phosphorus, and he's also a robot in Superman. So I'm kind of it feels very recycled
Yeah.
and a little bit, I don't know, it's very repetitive.
Do you mind if we touch on that before you move on with your list?
Yeah.
Because you're bringing up a very interesting topic, and that's James Gunn is basically a director who has a camp, and he doesn't like to reach outside of that too much.
hmm
You know, like Nathan Fillion, I think he's a good actor. I actually really enjoy Guy Gardner in this, which I didn't think I would. But with that being said, it does feel recycled. You know, you watch any of his films, it's like you get the same people pretty much every time.
hmm
And it is nice that we have a lesser known actor playing the main character as Superman.
Yes.
Because I know he's been in a series, I think it's on Netflix, and then he was in the Twisters movie. But other than that, I don't really know too much about David Corenswet. So it was cool to see what he could do. And it's, like I said, it's a new person. It's not, you know, like previous iterations of these characters. Well, I guess Henry Cavill wasn't as well known back then, but you know, that movie with him and Batman versus Superman, you know, Ben Affleck was such a huge name, and I don't know. So it's nice when we have like a fresh take on a character and it's an actor that we're not familiar with.
Yep.
So I was surprised that James Gunn, of all directors, did that, because I remember people making jokes like, "Oh, it's going to be Chris Pratt," or you know, it's like, can we not? But yeah, his brother, that's a gripe I have with him, and a lot of people have been calling him out on that, because when he announced the DCU, he said the great thing was like movies, cartoons, video games, it's all going to be canon to the main story. And it's all like, if you see somebody in a cartoon, that person voicing that cartoon will play them in live action. So you make a good point. He's already playing multiple characters. How does he do that in a live action film? Like, is he just going to get credited for 3 different roles if they're all in the same film? Or so that's something people have been griping about. And I agree fully. I feel like there's so many people out there that could do these roles justice and would be better at acting than his brother. So it is very annoying.
Yeah, but there's a fine line with that. Because I think it's okay to do up to a certain point. Because I mean, like with our stuff, we're going to be casting each other in our own stuff quite frequently. So, but when you start, like you said, though, when you start mixing in multiple characters at one time, it makes it too much. So,
well, I think the thing that's annoying too is like, I was like, well, you know what? He's not going to direct a lot of the movies in the DCU, but I feel like he still has his hands in the projects, which, yeah, he's overseeing DCU Studios, so that makes sense. But it sucks to think just because of that fact, we're still going to get his brother in almost everything.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not the case, but it just feels like it right now. Because like she said, she's able to point out all these things. And I don't think you mentioned Peacemaker, but he's in Peacemaker.
Yeah.
He is in Peacemaker.
Yeah, so it's like literally everything we're getting so far has his brother in it.
Yeah.
It's like, boy,
about Peacemaker.
Yeah, and I'm just like, hopefully the Lantern series that we're getting doesn't have him, but it probably will, because Guy Gardner's in it, and Guy Gardner is contracted through Maxwell Lord, so it's like we're just gonna get James Gunn's brother constantly. And anyways,
he might
okay,
switch it up on us and kill his brother off with certain characters.
I know he killed off G.I. Robot.
Yeah.
So there's one gone, and I don't know if Weasel's still around. I think he is.
I think Weasel still, yeah.
I can't
So
remember.
we'll see.
But you know, there's a lot of speculation with the time placement of Creature Commandos. So like GI, like we could see GI Robot again, or like, because there's people wondering if Swamp Thing is going to be prior to Creature Commandos.
Yeah,
it's like we're not doing like a straight shot linear story. It's like things are kind of I forget what they call that, but yeah, yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious about the rest of your list, though. I'm excited that you have a list.
Yeah, I made this last night because I was really excited. But anyway, so Superman as a character in this movie, I didn't think that he was really Superman. When I think of Superman, I think of someone that has a certain, like, that is very authoritarian, has a lot of authority.
Mm-hmm.
And when, especially like during his scenes with like Crypto, there's no, I don't see that whatsoever. Especially because if you have like at the very end when Lex is doing his like dramatic monologue and Superman's like, well, I'm human too, and he starts listing off all of these things and it's a fantastic scene, you're at the edge of your seat. And then Crypto's just like attacking him and you're like, wait a minute, Crypto's like, if Crypto can like physically hurt Superman, like he's could potentially kill Lex Luthor.
Mm-hmm.
And Superman's just like, oh wait, no, stop, don't do that. And I'm like, and I was sitting there and I was like, that's not Superman.
Yeah.
And you can see it again like multiple times throughout the film, but that one really stuck out and that definitely almost ruined that entire movie for me.
I'm actually in agreement with you on that aspect of Superman. I do think David Cornsweet is a great Superman, and
Mm-hmm.
I think the issue I have with this movie that makes it not perfect is that James Gunn wrote it. I think his style of
Mm-hmm.
writing is great for certain characters. I don't know if it's the best for Superman, and
Agreed.
he has to have, like, look at Peter Quill and
Mm-hmm.
Guardians of the Galaxy. He's our main protagonist in terms of like the brooding guy, right, who's leading the
Mm-hmm.
charge. But he's always like, "Oh, come on," or it. David Cornsweet did that early in the film, like when he goes to the Fortress of Solitude and has to get the sun treatment or whatever, and then he's
Mm-hmm.
looking around and he sees like Crypto's made a mess. He's like, come on, seriously?
Mm-hmm.
And I agree because I thought the same thing you did. I was like, that's not very Superman. I feel like he'd be
Mm-hmm.
like, Crypto? No, or something like that. Just
Exactly. Like
like
something that's
it makes him sound like a
mm-hmm.
whiny teenager almost. So
Yeah.
yeah, and there are many instances of that throughout the movie, and I fault James Gunn's writing. I don't think he knows how to allow a protagonist to just be like this strong, solid character.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like characters can have flaws and weaknesses, but it doesn't mean they have to be whiny or comedic to an extent. And I feel like all of those instances are comedic. It's all like, oh, look at Superman, he's whining,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and it sucks because it takes away from his, like you said, you don't feel like it's Superman. So it's literally taking away from the character. And this movie is about the character. The name is literally his name. So
Mm-hmm.
it sucks that gets sacrificed for humor. But again, I fault James Gunn for that. I think that's one of his classic tropes in most of his movies.
Yeah.
So
I think, and then if we even move to like Lex Luthor, I think Nicholas Hoult was phenomenal. Like he brought his A game. I was a little hesitant about him at first,
me too.
not because he's a phenomenal actor, but just because I've never really seen him do anything like this before. But he killed it. But if you look at Lex Luthor, if like in that opening scene where he's fighting, where Superman's fighting the robot guy, and he's just like calling out all of these like fight moves. And I was thinking about not to compare Marvel to DC, but if you look at like if Lex Luthor is supposed to be like this super genius and he can create all of these, pocket universes and can make his own like version of metahumans, why is he calling out all of these moves? Because that process has to be a lot slower than just having some form of like Taskmaster almost, where they just can kind of recognize what they're gonna do and then use like a recorded pre whatever to counteract whatever Superman's going to do.
Yeah.
That bothered me a little bit.
I see where you're coming from. I think the reason I don't question that, and a lot of goofy things like that in this movie, is I grew up watching the Superman animated series, and
I
that's
did
total.
too.
Okay, well, that's the kind of stuff that happens in the cartoons. They don't like always utilize the fact that they have a villain who is a super villain. Like they have a super power.
Yeah.
His is his brain, and
Mhm.
there's things he does in the cartoon that it's just like you just literally cloned Superman, and now you're doing this, or like you're getting in a fist fight. It's like you can't tell me you couldn't build something or. So
Yeah.
I get your gripe, but I know James Gunn has cited that Superman animated series was an inspiration for him, and I feel like the Lex Luthor in this is very much a parallel of that version of Lex.
Yes.
So, but I agree with you. I do think it is a fault, and again, James Gunn's writing. I think it's also a comedic aspect. It's you got him shouting commands at people, similar to when he knocks the mug with the pencils off and he tells them to pick it up.
That pissed me off. That was that was so cringy to watch. And even like him doing like the whole Russian roulette. That was a great scene. But he cut it too short. He was like, "Oh, like I didn't expect that to happen." Like you had Superman right there. You could have just killed him.
Yeah.
Like you had every single means to just get it over with. Or even like the whole Ultraman thing. It reminded me so much. I don't know if you guys have read the Boys comics.
No, I haven't.
Okay, so spoilers, sorry.
No, that's fine.
So in the comics, so Black Noir is actually a clone of Homelander.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that reminded me so much of that because Ultraman looks exactly like Black Noir.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Yes, he does.
So I thought that was kind of lazy. Like you could have just had Bizarro, which probably would have been a little more interesting, at least for me.
Mm-hmm.
But
I do have that. I have to wonder with Dima's least favorite part of the movie. We later see a black hole again during the final act. So we have Superman fighting Ultraman, and then Ultraman does he throw him in a bus? Is that what gets carried into the black hole?
That's what it looked like.
Throws him into something like that.
And you just kind of see him in the window looking at him.
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering, because there's like all the little cubes and stuff that you hate in the other scene. I'm almost wondering if they're like teasing Bizarro World, where like he would actually become Bizarro and wherever this black hole just took him. And then we see a return because he doesn't die. We don't see him die.
Right.
So that was something I was kind of wondering. And yeah, you made me think of that when you mentioned Bizarro, because I was with you on that. I felt like it was kind of a, not even reading the Boys comics, just the suit reminded me of Black Noir. So.
Yeah. Well, I thought the Pocket Universe was going to be like the Phantom Zone almost. And maybe it will become the Phantom Zone, but
yeah,
I mean, I think they closed it, so probably not. But that's what I thought initially, and I was like, oh yeah, cool, Phantom Zone. No,
yeah,
Phantom Zone-esque, but not truly the Phantom Zone.
I do wonder, because I don't know the rules with Pocket Universes, at least in context to this story, if we can still access it.
Yeah, I wondered that as well. I'm sure, I mean, if they keep Mr. Terrific, which I'm sure they will, I'm sure he'll have something to do with that. Or once they start getting into like, I don't want to say like multiverse. If they do multiversal stuff, I hope they don't. Just
if they do,
for
I hope
sanity's sake.
Yeah, I hope they save it for a long time. Like I don't know, because that's a thing I have a gripe with MCU on right now. Is it's just too chaotic and real quick, this is pertaining to a conversation Dee and I had the other day. You know how we were talking about the end of Doctor Strange? Like we see Charlize Theron show up. I don't remember who her character is, but like it's teasing whatever. Never see her again. You know who else is in that film that we don't see again?
Who?
America Chavez.
Oh shit!
That's a whole. But that's my point. Like we were talking about how we are literally forgetting characters because they keep teasing so much stuff or just giving us stuff like Moon Knight, and then we never see it again. And we're both afraid that Avengers Doomsday is going to literally just be like here's everybody, and it's going to be really
just
overwhelming
pure
and chaotic and
game on steroids.
Yeah, like there's She-Hulk, there's Miss Marvel, there's Moon Knight. It's just going to be like everyone.
Like, oh hey, everyone that we forgot about is just right here.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
No. I wonder what they're going to do with Eternal. I wonder if they're going to bring Eternals back in because they literally just.
Oh, I forgot about
that.
They
teased so much in Eternals.
Yeah.
And we got that one little snippet of Eternals, and I think Captain America, the newer one. They're like, oh hey, there's that guy. Did you forget about him?
Yeah.
That giant statue thing.
Yep. What being is that? I can't remember his name right now. It's one of the terrestrial.
Because it's just not memorable.
Oh yeah. See, that was the point that we were talking. Like we're literally forgetting stuff. Dima's favorite character is Moon Knight, and he completely forgot about that series.
Yes.
And I'm not faulting you for that. That's literally Marvel just not capitalizing on things we're being promised. You know, we're getting fed way too much, and they don't even know where they're steering the ship. You know, it's like.
And we talked about that last week, where they need to stagger everything a lot more than just throwing it all at once. And then one, you're either not watching stuff because it slips through the cracks, or two, you just forget about it, like in Moon Knight and everything else we've mentioned.
Yeah. I'm actually curious. What were you gonna say, Caitlin?
They're leaning so much into nostalgia that it's just, I don't know, it's kind of killing, further killing, I should say, that whole universe.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think nostalgia is like the big thing now that they think, oh, that makes money. And I think that's a big part of why they brought Robert Downey Jr. back. Is it's given us that feeling of the old days with the MCU and
I
don't know.
There's a rumor about that he's not actually playing Doctor Doom, that he's just a placeholder. And honestly, I kind of hope it's true.
I do too. Dima, I don't know if you remember this, but I told you when they announced that, I think we were on the podcast, that I was hoping that his Doomsday is literally just a variant of Iron Man in like another universe, and he maybe inspires, or like the actual Doctor Doom gets his mask from that Iron Man. I don't know. That was kind of what I was hoping they were going to do. And he can be a bad guy. Like, I actually think it'd be cool to see Tony Stark show up, and like people that recognize his face are like, oh,
right.
And then he's a bad guy. Like, that'd be cool. But
I agree.
I don't want him to be the main Doomsday. So I'm very much with you on that. All right, well, getting back to Superman. Where are you at on your list?
So, where's that? Oh, okay. So there was a line in the movie where I think it was like, I forget who said it, but they were like, yeah, Lex Luthor has like a whole cult, and they're gonna take over whatever part of the country and make it like Luthortopia or whatever it was called.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, and they just said it, and then that was it. And I was like, okay, like what was the point of that? Like they made it the way that I think it was Lois Lane that said it. Could be wrong, but they're like, like Luthor has this like whole cult, and they follow him, and they do everything that he says. And I was like, could we see that? Like, I know we got like a little bit, and it kind of looked a lot like Jonestown.
Yeah.
It's a lot like I think it was very heavily inspired by Jonestown, because you had like the music, and they're all remote and wearing like tropical clothing.
Yeah.
I wanted to see more of that. Like,
No,
I hate
no.
when they show. I hate when they don't show and they just tell us.
Yep, I am the same way. I'm the exact same way. You know, a whole other problem I have with that while we're on that whole scene with Mr. Terrific and Lois is awesome.
hmm
I personally love it. A lot of people don't like the music over it, but I even enjoyed the music. I just thought that whole
hmm
scene was cool. It was a lot of fun. It made me want more Mr. Terrific.
hmm
But I have a gripe with that, and that is when they rescue, everyone out of the pocket dimension and they're coming out of that tent. Everyone's
hmm
just gone. Like the Raptors are
Yeah.
gone. All the people in the beach shirts that you're talking about gone. Everyone is just gone. I'm like, okay, so this whole thing just happened here. We see in the final act that Luther has pretty much an infinite amount of these Raptors.
Yeah.
So like if this
hmm
got attacked, why wasn't there just like backup coming in but no, everyone's just
Yeah.
gone. And
hmm
it felt kind of lazy to me. It
They
was
had to
like
clock out and go home for dinner, Kyle.
they told third shift, not tonight, just stay home.
hmm
This dude has electronic spheres and they kicked their ass. No, I don't know. It felt lazy to me because it was like we got to hurry up and get to the final act. So like let's just move from this cool
Yeah.
thing that just happened. And
hmm
I can buy everyone woke up and said, "I'm going home. Screw this." But those Raptors, like I can't believe
Yeah.
they're I don't know. It
It's
just
just there's no remnants. They're just gone.
yeah, it really bothered me. So
hmm
playing into your point, like he does have this cult or whatever, but it didn't feel significant at all to the story, other than that scene for Mr. Terrific to show off his capabilities.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird. It's
hmm
almost one of my favorite parts of the movie, but it's also one of my biggest gripes.
Which they
Yeah.
might bring that back. I mean, the last we saw of Lex was him in the back of the Humvee, supposedly about to get in prison. But let's be honest, as Lex Luthor, he definitely planned for that to happen, worst case scenario. And
hmm
I'm sure they're going to bring that back at a later time, assuming
Yeah.
things go right. So,
hmm
Yeah. Yeah.
hmm I don't know.
Trying to
Going off with like Mr. Terrific and the side characters, they did not use Hawkgirl at all.
not really,
To the
no.
point where I was like, why is she even in the movie?
Yeah.
You know what? I want to ask you a question based
hmm
off that. Do you think there should be any exposition on why her scream matters? Because she just does it
Yeah,
and there's no like explanation or
I know. Like, I don't. Because here's the thing: is unless you grew up watching like the Justice League animated
yes.
or have read the comic, you
Yep.
probably aren't even gonna know. And here's the thing: they didn't even use Shaira; they used Kendra, which
Mhm.
is another gripe of mine. Because I feel like Shaira has a way cooler story than Kendra, personally.
Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
Scream would. I haven't really read a lot. I don't know a lot about Kendra, but I know a lot about Shaira. So for me, like the Scream makes sense for Shaira because she's very aggressive. She's very
Like a war cry.
exactly.
Yes.
But with this Hawkgirl, it felt a lot like a Black Canary Scream.
Mhm.
It did, yes.
So I was very confused.
Yeah. I I don't know. I think I even put this in my first letterbox review, but when I told because Dima hadn't seen the movie yet, so I was trying to tell him things without spoiling it. But
hmm
I think I said Hawk Girl feels very unnecessary to the story
Yeah.
because
hmm
I just there's not ever an instance where I'm like, okay, thank God they put her in this scene or like
Never.
She.
um and it sucks because I like the character and
hmm
I'm with you. I don't know too much about this iteration of Hot Girl.
hmm
Um but I also know that James Gunn is planning on using a lot of different iterations of multiple characters, which
hmm
is why I'm always going to press the fact that like we're seeing stories told, but it's not always going to be like in chronological order. Cause I feel like we're going to get a lot of like back story to this cinematic universe. Like, you know, kind of like how
Yeah.
Captain America was a backstory to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So like we might see other iterations of a lot of characters, but yeah, I'm not very well knowledge with her. So me pretending I don't read comics and stuff, and I'm just a general audience member. I'm
Yeah.
like, who's
I'd be
this?
really confused.
Yeah, it's just like I don't understand her. Like I don't.
Yeah. Also, where did her wings go? Like there were just scenes where she had no wings.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was so confused.
I was gonna say it's like Falcon. Like they're just mechanical wings, I guess.
It's
Like,
where do they go?
just compartmentalizing her back.
Makes no sense.
Yeah. That's that Maxwell Lord tech, you know? Just
I guess.
trying to.
One thing I hate about comic book movies, though, is you have to see it more than once. And I think that's my downside of this is I've only seen it once, so it was all wow factor for me versus actually being able to break down each scene versus the next time I do end up watching this movie, I'll actually be able to break more down with it, with the script itself, the visual effects, everything else. Like this is definitely one of those movies where you have to watch it more than once, especially with the suspension of us finding out James Gunn's taking over, and you know, it's Superman, one of the biggest characters in the DCU. It was almost too much wow factor building up, and then the movie itself to just see it once. So even if somebody watches it and they're like, it was all right, I definitely recommend go watch it again.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I am glad I saw it a second time for sure. Now, I'm glad you mentioned that because a gripe I have, being someone who's read a lot of Justice League comics and JLA comics. Caitlin, I'm really curious about your thoughts on this specifically. What do you think about the willingness of the Justice Gang to let people die?
That was actually my next point I was going to bring up is how willing everyone's they're just words. Just like the willingness they are to actually let people die. Like if you like Hawkgirl literally just dropped
that general,
the world leader, and like let him die. Like, wait a minute. Like that bothered me. You had the scene where Superman's like spinning really fast and has his laser beams out.
Yeah.
Homie definitely killed someone.
Yes.
Like there is no way.
In contrast, it's funny because we literally just, I guess 2 years ago, we got Black Adam, which had Hawkman in it. And one of the big key points in that story is they don't kill. Like, Hawkman specifically challenges Black Adam on like, hey man, we don't kill, you know, like he gets mad at him. And then here we got Hawkgirl just see it. Yeah. Not to mention when she clears that hallway, every one of those guys died.
100%.
100%.
Her mace killed everybody. Like, I was just like, dead. Yeah. The big thing that I was like, wow, how did I not question this the first time is the kaiju. So, like, Mr. Terrific blows its stomach up, and you got this is a very Superman thing. Superman is trying to preserve life.
Yeah.
Even this thing that's threatening, you know, hundreds of thousands of lives. He's like, let's try to get it off planet and take it to a whatever zoo, you know, or whatever he says. Okay, they blow its stomach up. He's dead. They're just letting him fall. Like, what was the contingency there? Because if Superman wasn't there, people were going to die. And you got Guy Gardner just like, you know. So that bothered me because I've never seen a comic where they do that and they're not worried about people dying. So it was weird. So I don't know if they were trying to say like they have this like relationship with Superman where they just know like, he's got it. Like we can kill this thing when it falls. But I don't like that. I don't like that they don't even show them being concerned for a second. Like, wait, it's falling, or I don't know. And even Mr. Terrific, like he literally just like blows its stomach up and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if this man is supposed to be the most intelligent person,
Yeah.
you would think he would have been able to find a way to work with Superman to get the kaiju off planet.
Yeah. It wasn't even a second thought.
No,
For
he
them.
just
Yeah, and they even like emphasize that there's like almost judgment from them for how Superman wants to approach these situations. Like you see Mr. Terrific
exactly.
land on the roof next to Superman and say like, you know, what's the situation or whatever, and he was just like, oh, I'm trying to figure out a way to like neutralize this in a peaceful or whatever. And he's just like, man, come
Mhm.
on, you know, and
Mhm.
it's like, all right, so it almost shows like they don't work together. So then this whole idea that I'm supposed to believe they trusted Superman was going to catch that kaiju,
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't buy
Yeah.
that. I just believe they don't care about life. Like
Mhm.
they're really just working for Maxwell Lord. It's all like a business arrangement. And
Yeah.
that's the other thing that bothered me on my second watch through is when Lois goes to the Hall of Justice, which I love the Hall of Justice.
Yes.
So many reasons.
Using our own building
Yeah.
for that is so cool. And then what's cool is if you've been in there, like the mural they had to like redo.
Yep.
And that's
Mhm.
why I was pointing out to you, Deem, like you gotta pay attention to that mural next time you watch it.
Yes.
A lot of
100%.
Easter eggs. A lot of Easter eggs. But it's like when she goes there saying like, you know, Lex is bad, Superman's in this pocket dimension, you need to save him or else people are gonna die. Like they're just like, you know.
Right.
And then yeah, Mr. Terrific helps, but it's like we're really establishing that like they're not in this to help or to save people. It's like they're doing a mission, they're doing a job, and I kind of like that Mr. Terrific broke away from that and
Mhm.
helped. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But then later, and a really beautiful scene in the movie when that kid is raising the flag up when the conflict is about to start and they're chanting Superman, it's like Guy Gardner and Hot Girl show up with Mephisto, and it's like, well, wait a minute. Two of you didn't really care about saving lives at all throughout this movie, and now all of a sudden you do. Like, it just doesn't work for me. I don't understand their motivation all of a sudden.
Well, it felt very, we're going to get a pat on the back if we do this. And that's how I saw that scene at the end where they came in and saved everything. And what really sold that thought to me was when after the military retreated and they were having the pats on the back about it. And, you know, everybody was cheering them on. Like, that's how it felt, was very, oh, I did this. And now they're thanking me. It was very selfish based.
I
Mhm.
think it would have worked better for me if we had a scene where like Maxwell Lord or just, you know, the Pentagon or somebody is communicating with the Hall of Justice. Like, we need you guys to, I don't know.
Which they
Yeah.
might bring it to that direction eventually.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, it didn't help that we didn't really, we honestly didn't see a lot of them at all.
I think we got a perfect
because-
amount though for a
No, I
Superman
agree.
movie.
I
That's
definitely
one
agree
thing I
with
was
that because
happy
it
about.
was focused on
Mhm.
Superman. So
Yeah.
I feel like if they would have added more detail, more emotion into them, they would have had to take time away from Superman, and it just wouldn't have felt as big of a Superman movie as it did. But going back to what you said a little bit ago, Kyle, Guy doesn't give a shit about Superman at all. He was ready to fight him on the drop of a dime inside oh shit, what was that building? After he got outed on the second half of the video. Like they don't care. More specifically, Guy does not give a shit about Superman, and he was ready to go toe to toe with him. So them caring and like holding him to a high standard in the sense of like, oh, Superman's got this, he'll save all the people. Like I agree with what you said. Like I don't think that's accurate at all.
Yeah, I just, in context to the story that we're given, so, you know, I'm not a fan of being told like, oh, well, if you're the prequel book to this, or oh, we'll probably get this down the road. That like, no, in context to the narrative that we're given, it doesn't make sense that they would want to show up and help all of a sudden.
Right.
So I have to use my imagination, like, oh, I'm sure someone gave them orders, or
yes,
we don't see that, you know. So it's it's a gripe I had because it's a
fair.
beautiful part of the movie. Like I love the
Mhm.
score and the way they film it, and like
Mhm.
you can really feel the conflict within Superman to like be there, but also there's this little rift tearing the world apart, and he has
Right.
to go
Mhm.
help Mr. Terrific. Like I thought that was a great build. It's very
Mhm.
suspenseful. Like she said earlier, it's an edge of the seat moment. It's
Yeah.
like wow, and it just sucks that like when the Justice Gang shows up this second time around, that's when I was just like, wait a minute, that doesn't really make sense.
Right.
Mhm.
So now if it had been Mr. Terrific and Metamorpho, that would be great. But no, we got two people that have pretty much noticed they don't care.
Yeah.
So it
Mhm.
just kind of bothers me. I do like your point though, Dima. It is a moment for them to get a pat on the back and look better than Superman, which I could see that. So all right. What is next on your list? I love that you have a list, by the way. I can't say that
Yeah.
enough.
Okay, so I feel like the whole romance between Superman and Lois was very rushed.
Mm,
The chemistry between them is so great.
it is. Yeah.
But the whole timeline, he's like, I love you. And I'm just like, wait a minute, huh? And then it's just like, they've been dating for what? They've had what? A date like 3 months ago or whatever they said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that is so far out there. Like it just didn't feel. I don't know. It didn't sit right with me. Like if
I'm
you're
with
gonna
you
already
on
have
that.
this established already established DCU and already established Superman, you would have think within those 3 years of Clark Kent giving Superman interviews that they already just would have been established. I feel like that would have been a lot easier to do
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
than to just be like, oh yeah, it's a new relationship. But oh wait, it really isn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just and Supergirl. Can we talk about Supergirl here for a second?
Oh yes,
Because
please.
her whole scene, I I think Millie Alcock's gonna be great, but that whole sequence just pissed me off. Because if she's
Ooh,
going
okay.
to a red sun planet to get super wasted,
Mm-hmm.
because because Kryptons get their powers from a yellow sun planet,
Right.
and she's going to a red sun planet to get drunk, then why she wouldn't have her powers there, technically speaking,
Mm.
because she's wasted. So how is she getting back? And
Yeah.
if she can't, and once she reaches Earth, where where the yellow sun exists, she wouldn't even be wasted. It would have left her system,
Yeah.
correct? Am I wrong
Yep.
in this thinking?
Nope. That is one of my gripes on my list, and it's funny because I appreciate the scene for the fact that it's in the middle of the movie. It's not an end credit scene
Mm-hmm.
because I think this movie. I do like this format of like end credit scenes are just going to be like extra. It's not setting anything up
Just
because this
mm-hmm.
movie is setting things up. So like I appreciate that James Gunn was able to acknowledge that. That being said, other than it being a good first reveal for her costume and everything,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
it was just a comedic moment, and that's a gripe I have with James Gunn is his comedy. Like I feel like narratively, like you said, it doesn't make sense to like her lore, like or
Mm-hmm.
anything about her heritage. Like you literally have Superman giving us exposition on what she's doing, and then what he says doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it just
Yeah.
feels like a thing they threw in there for a comedic moment. And I do try to overlook it and forgive it, but it is hard because it literally doesn't make sense to what Superman says in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I would have really liked to see instead of that, because now I'm thinking about it. Because if you instead of having her like just do whatever that was, I think it would have been interesting to have James Gunn take just the whole controversy with like the rest of his parents' message which I did like that take, by the way, but it did feel very Smallville. But anyway,
Yeah.
to have him like go to a red sun planet, like have him and Guy Gardner, because obviously Guy Gardner can do the whole space thing, go find her because she lived on Krypton. She would know.
Right.
And to have him being like, what the heck did you know about? Like,
Yeah.
what are you not telling me?
Yeah.
One, I felt like that would have been more Superman to me, to him, because again, he didn't have like any form of authority figure toward her. He was just like,
Yeah.
look at her. Instead of him like, this is irresponsible of you. Like, what are you doing?
I'm hoping that changes throughout this run of
Mm-hmm.
the DCU, because like I get he's early in his career as Superman, but it's like narratively in the story he's a grown man, so it's like it's weird that like he acts like that when he's in costume, because one thing he does very well that we see is he changes his voice. He gets that very deep, warm tone to his voice that's like, yes, that's Superman. So it's like you can think to do that, but you can't think to be a little bit more mature, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know,
because he's approximately 30 years old in this film.
So
because it felt like he was still in his early 20s with all the points that y'all are making. So it doesn't fit somebody who's grown and been grown for a minute.
No, it literally reminded me of Chris Pratt in Guardians of the Galaxy. Anytime he had those little moments, it's just like, come on, man. Like he just feels like he's being outdone by the situation, or it's like, nah, it's not Superman. Let me ask both of you, because Dima knows this very well. We both like to write, and in my head, it's really hard for me to enjoy a movie, because like if I don't like something, I'm in my head like, how would I have done this differently? And yesterday, when we were watching Superman, I did think about like how that didn't make sense. And then, have you seen the end credit scenes, Caitlin?
Multiple times.
Okay, all right. So obviously, Superman on the moon with Krypto is cool. Like Krypto's hugging him. Now, if that scene had been in the movie, it wouldn't have made sense, which is why I appreciate it not being in the movie, because him and Krypto are very much not adhere to each other. And he even says like to Lois, like, no, it's not my dog, it's a foster situation. I personally think in movie a better way to introduce her as Supergirl would have been, he's at the Fortress of Solitude, he's like, man, you guys clean this place up really well, and having that whole dialogue that he has. And instead of her busting in, he's like, where's Krypto? And then it cuts to her on the moon with Krypto, and that's the first time we see Krypto being a good dog, and he's hugging her.
Yeah.
And then the robot's just like, oh, your cousin picked him up, or I don't know, maybe we could have something like that. Just a very subtle like, and he's just like, oh, okay, like, because then we don't get this like ridiculousness of her being drunk and Krypto attacking her like he attacks everybody else. Like, to me, it didn't even look like he acknowledged her as being different than anyone else. He tackled Superman multiple times the way he tackles her. So I just feel like that could have been a better way to do it. So yeah, I don't know. That was just my opinion, because I was with you. It's funny, the first time I watched this, that totally went over my head. Like the whole red sun thing, and yesterday I was thinking about it. I was like, that doesn't really make sense, but it is what it is.
Yeah, either that or like she comes out of the some back room or around the corner or something with Krypto, like she's the one that helped clean everything up and get Four and the other robots like put back together.
I like the idea of her being like, in context to comics, like her and Clark don't have the best relationship. He's like it's weird because she's technically older than him,
Right.
Mhm.
You know, she was alive on Krypton, but like he comes off as like a parent figure almost.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like, so it's an interesting dynamic. And like she said, they're kind of flushing that away with him acting so, you know,
Childish.
yeah, anti-masculine with her. You know, he's just very like pushover, and I don't know. So
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know. The whole thing kind of bothers me, but it is what it is. I am excited for her movie. I do think she'll be
Mhm.
a good Supergirl. So, and I'm excited for more Crypto.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what you said you did like Ma and Pa Kent?
Yeah, I actually did. They did feel very like country as
Yeah,
opposed to, I mean, the DC, the Snyderverse, I didn't really feel that. Like, yeah, they can be in the middle of nowhere, but it really didn't feel like Kansas-y.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan
Agree.
of this iteration of them. I don't know. I think it
They
makes
look like your
sense.
basic farmers. Like if you go to the
Mhm.
middle of nowhere anywhere in the country, like they look like farmers. They live the life,
Mhm.
the it seemed very small town, large
Mhm.
property or large
Hmm.
farmhouse,
Mhm.
farmland with a basic farmhouse. So
Yeah,
it was definitely a good casting choice with them specifically, and perfect layout.
yeah. Um, it kind of captured me. I have a Superman comic. It's called Year One. It's
Hmm.
really
Mhm.
good. The art and it's beautiful. But like you really feel like they're in this desolate farm. Like
Yeah,
it makes sense that he would land here and no one would know or find him.
Mhm.
In the
Yeah.
Snyderverse, it didn't feel like that. It literally felt like you drive 15 minutes out of Metropolis and you're going to be at Ma and Pa Kent's
Yeah.
house. Like,
right.
uh, so
Mhm.
yeah, I do agree. I like this version. It does feel like they're in the middle of nowhere and
Mhm.
they just live a
Yeah.
simple life. I actually really appreciate the scene where they first call him and they're saying like we
Yeah.
saw your front page and like she's having a hard time
Mhm.
talking to the phone, like she's yelling at it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I thought that was really
Mhm.
funny. So
Yeah. Their
some of the
dialogue
only
feels more.
Natural.
Mhm.
yeah, yep, yeah, absolutely. Um, Dima, do you agree about Monpa Kent? You're
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely. Oh, that was my first thought when I first saw them was like, hey, they seem like legit farmers. I feel like I would go to any farm around and see them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I agree 100% with that. But
Mhm.
Anything else on your list?
It's kind of dumb, but Cat Grant's wig. I really hope that was a wig that she was
Yeah,
wearing because oh my gosh, that was terrible.
that was terrible. That was a choice. That was definitely a choice. Uh, that's actually that leads me into a big gripe I have. I could have used I told Dima this my first time watching it. I could have used maybe 20, 30 minutes more of the story or just room in the film for things to kind of flesh out. Like we don't get a lot of the Daily Planet.
Mhm.
And it sucks because I actually think this is probably my favorite take on the Daily Planet. Like
yeah,
Clark
Mhm.
goes into work, it's just chaos. Like,
Yeah.
and I hated it the first time I watched it because the first time I watched this movie, I was just like, okay, like I felt like I was suffocating. There's just so much going on.
yeah,
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden he's on the busy streets of Metropolis and he's trying to get to work and he walks in and then the chaos just continues. Like it's
yeah,
just
Mhm.
never ending. And the first break you get is when Lois comes into her apartment. And it's just like,
Mhm.
oh. But this second time around, I was just like, man, this is like the perfect Daily Planet. Like it's just so busy and it feels like there's just so much going on in the city. Like they can't even sit down at their desk. Like
yep,
I,
Mhm.
I love it. And Perry is such a great casting.
yep,
Yes.
And Jimmy Olsen, which we get a good amount of Jimmy Olsen, but I love Perry,
Mhm.
man. I could have
yeah,
used some more Perry. And then whoever the random guy is on Mr. Fantastic's ship with them, like he calls his name, like, come on, it's the,
Oh,
the
yeah.
black dude with the glasses. I'm like, I don't. I assume you probably had some dialogue that was cut out, or I don't know, but it just felt like, which I do know they cut the movie down from the original runtime after a test screening. So
Yes.
I'd have to assume some Daily Planet got cut out.
Yeah.
And that sucks, but maybe we'll get a James Gunn director's cut of Superman someday.
I mean, we got the Snyder ones, so
yeah,
wouldn't...
it's definitely a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's a big gripe, is just more Daily Planet, and I could use a little more Clark Kent, just a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do like his Clark Kent, but I don't, like, I told Dima I was unsure about it my first watch through, and it's just because I didn't feel like I got enough of it. You know, it's which it's fine. It's a Superman movie. I'm getting a lot of Superman. Can't complain. But and I think that bleeds into the whole more Clark Kent and Lois too. If we saw a little bit more of their relationship, I can maybe buy the love thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could have used like less of that and just more of them kind of figuring out where they're at with each other, maybe. I do appreciate the scene in the apartment where he comes back from hunting for crypto and you see the Justice Gang fighting the Dimensional Imp in the background. Like, I personally, I've seen a lot of people have issues with that scene. I like that scene. I kind of like that it feels like a comic book where it's like there's a whole world out here. There's constantly things going on. Superman can't be at every single thing. And he says like, yeah, you know, they got this. Like, he's not even stressing it. I like that. And I like their dialogue. I like that he apologized to her for fighting. And when he leaves, it's the first time I feel like she actually does have some emotional feelings for him. Cause like he takes off and it kind of catches her like glaring at him and her hair is kind of flowing from him taking off. And it reminded me of Lois, the Adventures of Lois and Clark TV show. Like anytime he would visit Lois and take off, she just looked like she was totally entranced by him, you know, like, so I appreciated that scene, because otherwise Lois is like a brick wall, man. Like, she is just, you know, so a little bit more of that. And I could maybe buy the love thing. But, if we got the scenes we got and they never said I love you, I'd be perfectly okay with it. Yeah. So, yeah. Sorry, I went on a tangent there, but you made some really good points, Caitlin. I like your list.
Thank you.
Is there more?
Let's see.
I'm curious, did you write any positives down?
I did.
Okay, well, there, you're better than me. I only write down negatives.
So I really liked the score. I'm a big music person.
Same.
So the score was very fun. It was very reminiscent of like the Christopher Reeve, which I liked.
It's like a modern take on that too.
Yes.
Like, I love when the guitar comes in and the kid's putting the flag up. It's like metal guitar. It's so good.
Yeah, that was really cool. I actually enjoyed the action sequences. I feel like in a lot of superhero movies today, it's very like, oh, we gotta go fight this big CGI thing, whatever. And they kind of did that, but it definitely felt more scaled back compared to like those huge.
It was like tastefully done. Like, it wasn't overbearing. And when it does get overbearing, I appreciate it. Like when all of those raptors come after him after he defeats Ultraman, and he's just spinning, and then like throwing them off, and then he just goes on a circle doing his laser eyes. I'm like, that is so over the top, but it was just so cool. I didn't care.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree with that. I actually was worried this would be a big CGI extravaganza that was gonna drive me crazy, and it didn't. So do appreciate that.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I just kind of have general like DCU things. Like, I do miss Rick Flag Jr. a lot. Like Rick Flag Sr. is cool, and I kind of get why they did it, but at the same time, like when they changed from the Snyderverse to now the DCU, my biggest one of my big complaints about it is that he kept people and cut others. Like he kept Amanda Waller,
Yeah.
which I get why. She's great.
Viola Davis.
crushes.
Yeah, she's a great actress.
But at the same time, like you're making your own universe and you're still keeping remnants of something that they're trying to get rid of. Like he's keeping Blue Beetle to do like an animated thing. Like that I thought was kind of weird.
I agree. For anyone who was like a hardcore fan of DCEU, I guess as it was called, Snyderverse, it got very confusing for years, like what was connected to what. And it was almost like they were afraid to connect projects like Blue Beetle to other things. So it comes out in a time where, the other things are still relevant, but it doesn't connect. And then you're like, so is it associated with that, or is it?
Yeah.
So when you do like a reboot, I feel like that should just be like a cut and dry thing.
Yes.
And as much as
like everyone's got to go.
Yeah, as much as I like Viola Davis, I even think like that. Like I did fully expect Peacemaker would find a way to bleed into this. Obviously, with Peacemaker's father literally having his own pocket universe where he keeps his entire arsenal. There's a window of opportunity for him to come into this current cinematic universe, which it looks like that happens from the teaser trailer we got. I want to ask you a question because I'm going to confess, Evan, I have not finished Creature Commandos. And I don't care about you spoiling this for me.
Okay.
I don't think Dima will either. So do they address that Rick Flag's son is dead in this current universe?
Yes. That's like the first thing that they do.
Okay. All right.
So my understanding is that if he does come back, it'll be like in Peacemaker season 1 where it's just like little snippets or like flashback sequences, which is unfortunate because I did like I think it was Joel Kinnaman was the actor. I liked him as Rick Flag, and I get why they. But I feel like just having it be like, oh yeah, this is Rick Flag Sr. I felt like that was a little. Sorry, like no one else.
It's so weird because that's one of the things I'm the most upset about is I miss him in that role. I thought that was like perfect casting. And that goes back to David Ayer's Suicide Squad, which I thought his casting was pretty great, honestly.
Yeah.
Jay McCourtney, I think is his name, that played Boomerang. I thought that
he was great.
Perfect. And he actually said on a podcast a couple months ago that he knows or that he thinks there's a possibility we could see him return in that role again. So that's cool. He did. He died in the Suicide Squad. So that's what's interesting to me because I'm like, okay, that's canon to the DCEU, I guess, since it has the Peacemaker that we're getting that's going to transition into this universe. So I'm like, does that mean our current DC universe has a Boomerang out there? Like, is that what that's implying? Or and that's why I was wondering if that's the same for Colonel Rick Flag, but I guess if they've already established he is dead, then that sucks. All right. It sucks because I don't want like multiversal madness. I really don't. But at the same time, I'm like, I do want there to be like a magical door like we see in Peacemaker where it's like, hey, these people we liked before, get them in here. So it is conflicting. I want to get your opinion on Jared Leto as the Joker.
Hated it.
Okay, thank you.
I hated it. Like at first I was like, okay, because I'd watched he was fantastic in Dallas Buyers Club. Like
oh yeah. I've watched
great
that movie
performance.
so many times.
And then I was like, okay, but then he just was this like gangster mob thing, and I was like, this is terrible. I am not
Yeah.
a fan of the Suicide Squad movie from 2016. Like that movie
No. We call it
hurts.
Studio
It
Squad.
physically hurts to watch.
You know, David Ayer's been very outspoken about how that's not his movie. So
Mhm.
I always call it Studio Squad until maybe one day we get his
Yeah.
version, because he said his version's filmed 100%. The VFX just have to be completed. So
Oh wow.
I would love to see that.
same.
Cause like they had such a great cast for that movie. It just
Yeah. I mean, Will Smith as Deadshot was awesome.
it was great.
I was so excited about that. And if we had seen him and Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke on screen together, I would have fangirled out. So
That would have been so cool.
right. I actually made I'll send it to you. I made a like fan poster of both of them standing next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I came up with this whole like script I told Dima about where like they both get contracted to kill the same character. And it's like Amanda Waller is basically trying to have them both take, like, she only wants one of them alive, and she's trying to have one of them take the other one out. Like, she's just like, you know
That'd
what,
be
I got these,
sick.
right? Like, I got these two top tier assassins. I know no one else can take them out, so one of them will take the other one out, and then I just have one I can control. Yeah, that was a whole thing I thought would be cool, but
yeah, that'd be really cool.
I am excited at the thought of Deathstroke in this universe. I actually meant to have that available to show you guys, but I forgot. Did you ever see the leaked footage or pictures of James Gunn in the writing room for the Suicide Squad? And like the original concept art, instead of Bloodsport, it was Deathstroke.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so like Bloodsport was retconning the original plan, because at the time they were still, you know, DC was a freaking mess. They were still trying to do a Deathstroke solo film that was gonna be like a low budget, like John Wick-esque style Deathstroke film. So they told James Gunn, like, sorry, you can't use Deathstroke. So then he went to Bloodsport, which was cool, but yeah, it's always excited me because like the kind of blurry drawings you can see on the board, he looked awesome.
Damn.
So I know Deathstroke is like definitely a focus point for James Gunn in this DCU. So yeah, I am excited to see what they do with that, and hopefully the casting is good. Hopefully. Do you Caitlin, do you have any like fan castings for big characters that we haven't seen yet? Like Batman or Wonder Woman or
I've seen like Asa Gonzalez. I think she'd be great.
Oh, for Wonder Woman? Yeah, I
I've
can
seen
see
that one floating around, and I really hope it's true, because that would be great.
It would be. She's what James Gunn's looking for too. Like, she's younger.
Yeah.
And,
Batman
Batman.
seen a
I'm
lot
such
of Batman.
I'm such a big Batman person, and it's really hard for me to see somebody and think, oh, that's perfect. But like the past two iterations, I have thought that, like Ben Affleck, I was like, what? And then Robert Pattinson, I was really nervous about that. But both surprised me. So I always keep that in mind when I see these fan castings going around. I'm like, all right, they'll probably surprise me. I need to be.
Like, I've seen the three I've seen the most are Carl Urban, Jensen Ackles, and Alan Richardson. I think that's how you pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
Those are the top three I've seen floating around. But I'm really trying to keep an open mind with Batman, because again, Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
When I heard that, I was like, oh no, this movie's gonna suck. But I mean, now it's probably one of my favorite Batman movies.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome to hear. That is awesome to hear.
It's so good.
We're doing a podcast in the near future on Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy.
I have some hot takes with that one.
Oh, well, we might have to get you on some episodes. we're trying to do that. Like we're trying to get more people to come on so we can just have like really good conversations. Like not saying this isn't, but I feel like when you get more people on from different walks of life, different perspectives, it just really like you've made me think about things I didn't think about on my own. So it's cool to talk to somebody else besides Dima for once.
That's fair.
No, but I have a hot take, and I think Batman Begins is better than The Dark Knight.
I do too.
Yes.
I also think those movies are out of order, but that's just me.
Yes. Yep. All right. Yeah, we're gonna have to get you on those episodes for sure. I need someone that has my back, Dima. Everyone's always like, I was telling Dima I hate that anytime a DC movie comes out, everyone's like, "Oh, it's the best thing since The Dark Knight." I'm like, we're still on that. We're still like, I don't know, it kills me. But no, when I first saw Robert Pattinson's The Batman, I was really conflicted on if it was my favorite Batman movie or not. Now that I've watched it, 20 or 30 times, I think it is. Like I don't think I can argue with myself that it's not. But before that it was Batman Begins. I thought Batman Begins was like the purest, coolest version of a Batman origin story that I've ever seen. And I liked how it paid homage to comics, a lot of different comics. The animated movie, I don't know. Christopher Nolan just really pulled off something amazing with that movie. But damn it, the Batman is just so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. So it's one of it's a big conflict within me for sure. Like I'll watch, like I just watched The Batman Begins because we were supposed to do it last weekend and our guest canceled on us. But I was like, you know what? This might be better than the Batman. But then I know when I watch the Batman, I'm like,
Yeah, no, the Batman is the best Batman movie.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting to hear. So, what is your favorite DC character if you had to pick one?
Oh, I don't know. So I'm gonna go off of at work. We have every week we have this whiteboard, and this week was top 5 superheroes. So I'm gonna go off of that, just for my own sake and sanity. So I had DC wise, I think Nightwing, Batman, and I really like Green Arrow, like that, and like Black Canary. Those are probably the ones I gravitate towards the most. I mean, Teen Titans are pretty great, but
so you definitely favor like street level.
Yeah, I'm not big into like the godlike characters. I mean, I am, but I didn't really get into Superman until like a couple years ago.
Me too.
Because I've just always grown up with Batman. So I always just was like, yeah, Batman.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I feel like I could relate more, even though he's like, a billionaire and all this stuff. Like he's a person. He doesn't have like the superpower. So when I was a kid, it felt like if I had to pick from the trinity of DC or even like the 7 big bads, it's like that's the one that I could maybe one day grow up to be. Like I could be rich. I could, so I just always was a Batman guy. And I like that I was, because I feel like now, like even with Marvel, being honest, I didn't get into Marvel until Iron Man, like that.
Yeah.
I'm somebody who was not really into Marvel comics other than Spider-Man. But everything else I just wasn't really privy to. And I like that, even though I can appreciate all these characters and their powers and their backstory, like, we got Thor coming from Asgard and Guardians of the Galaxy. We got a talking raccoon in a tree. And like, I always find a way to relate to them because of the more humanized aspects to them. And I think I focus on that because of Batman. Like, you've got a guy who is so grounded, and then when you expand outside of Gotham City, it's like everything else is just so like fantastical and otherworldly. And you have to watch this guy, like, you watch the Justice League comics, like he literally has to go to the Watchtower and freaking hang out with Martian Manhunter and Green. it's like, what? But he's always been like seeing him interact with these people and seeing him still focus on like Gotham City and like what matters to him as a person. It makes me find a way to relate to other characters that aren't so grounded. So I don't know. I've always appreciated Batman for that reason. So what what is your favorite Marvel character?
Oh, I'm a big X-Men fan.
Okay.
Like that whole group is just, I love them. I just love X-Men. I really like Rogue.
I'm a
She's
Gambit
like,
guy.
I like Gambit. Gambit's pretty cool, but Rogue, I like Rogue a lot. I grew up watching like the X-Men, not the like the or like original animated series, but one of the newer ones.
Was it Evolution? I think it was
It
called.
was Evolution.
Yeah, I used to watch
So
that.
like I really enjoyed Evolution.
Yeah.
So like her, I love Professor X. I mean,
So
Nightcrawler's amazing.
So you're probably really invested in how they're introducing the X-Men right now.
Yeah, because if you look at all the movies that they have right now, only like half of them are good.
Yeah.
If that. Most of them are not great.
I was gonna say that's being more than fair.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Half of
Like,
them are watchable. We can say
yeah.
that.
I think I find more appreciation for like the earlier like Fox X-Men movies the more I see things, because it's like, yeah, we didn't get comic accurate costumes and whatever, but some of the things they try to do in more recent years are just a little too off the cuff for me. Yeah, and it's like they're trying so hard to not be Fox X-Men that they're going too far off the rails. I don't know. And
Disney's always about crossing the line of what could be awesome. They just, back to what we were talking about a week ago, they only care about the money, and they will just cross that line with any and every project, thinking that's going to make them more money than staying right where it needs to be. I would die on that hill.
Yeah, they're giving feelers too. Like the reason I wanted to bring up Doctor Strange and the Madness or Multiverse of Madness is like we obviously get the what's it called with Professor X.
Oh, yeah, like Professor X.
Illuminati.
Yeah, the Illuminati.
All right, I had a brain fart there, but that whole thing was cool. You know, obviously we get John Krasinski. It's like we're afraid to commit to things, so we do stuff like that. So we get like these little like fan moments, but it never pays off. You know, it's always like, okay, let's see how the crowd reacts to this, and maybe we'll commit to it, maybe we won't. And now, if you look at that and what we're getting with the Fantastic Four movie, it looks like night and day.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like X-Men's the same way. I mean, we don't really have a lot to reference right now. I mean, Deadpool versus Wolverine was literally just like, hey, we have the rights to these characters. We didn't. Let's make a big blockbuster movie so we can have a hit, because we haven't in a long time.
Yeah.
And it didn't really establish anything new in terms of the MCU, like at all. We just get some like nostalgic throwbacks, you know, like Chris Evans not being Captain America. It's just like, all right. And Dean and I were talking about this. Like, there's some like MCU stuff sprinkled in there. Like, there's the big Ant-Man carcass that's being used as the layer, and I don't know, but yeah, it feels like Marvel is just very like up in the air. And even though we have like a set, like, oh yeah, Avengers Doomsday is coming out, and they released that casting, I'm still just like, I don't know. And
the 4-hour-long chairs.
Yeah. So with that, what do you think about, because right now the only X-Men character that we are fully locked in on, other than the old Professor X, and Magneto is Gambit.
We're getting Rebecca Romaine, and we're also getting Alan Cumming.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
God, there's too many of those chairs.
So many.
Okay, well, that even furthers my point. So the only new thing we're getting is Channing Tatum. Out of like recent years. So what do you think about that casting? Because that's been a very controversial thing.
I wish they would have done it when they said they were going to do the movie. However long ago that was, because he was supposed to be Gambit and have his own thing.
Yeah, like,
and I think I would have liked that better. But like seeing him in Deadpool and Wolverine was very exciting. However, I think his own movie and having that little moment would have been better. Even if it was a terrible movie, I think it would have. I don't know. I'm really not a big nostalgia bait person. Like I'll get excited, but it doesn't. I'll be like, oh, cool, and then just I'm like, okay, but why?
I think the weird thing for me, and I'm with you on the nostalgia thing, it doesn't really do much for me. I can say though, with the Flash movie, that was the only thing I was really excited about because I knew the Flash was going to be disappointing in terms of like what it could have been. You know, it came in at a terrible time and it got rewritten so many times.
Yeah.
But yeah, Michael Keaton as Batman, I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, but I think the thing I'm questioning with Channing Tatum as Gambit, because I was always a big fan of that casting. Like even back to what you're referencing when his first movie was supposed to come out, I was like, yeah, he looks like he was born for it. We haven't seen him in anything other than being an extended cameo in Deadpool, which is already not a linear MCU movie. So like we're bringing in a very third party X-Men character into this film with other established X-Men characters that have been in films. It feels very shoehorned to me. Like it feels like, unlike John Krasinski, it feels like this was more over with fans. So like, okay, we can roll with this. And now it's being shoehorned into this Avengers movie. And I'm a little skeptical about it. I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know if like the X-Men characters we are familiar with that have an established history interacting with this Gambit is going to work for me. I just don't know. I don't know if there's gonna be enough time in the movie to establish their dynamic and their relationship. And I don't know.
I keep forgetting Avengers Doomsday is coming out.
Well, see, that's how Deem and I start talking about this. We forget about it. I actually had my buddy comment. My buddy commented on our one stream about it. And I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing. And that's how it even became a topic for us. And I need to go back and look at those chairs because I feel like I'm already That's the other thing. Even like the characters we are being told we're getting, I'm forgetting. Like it's just so much. So much.
Yeah.
I'm worried they're trying to carbon copy what they pulled off with Endgame, and it's not going to be the same.
Yeah. Just let it die.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Marvel.
That's what I said.
Or just do like little snippets of like, hey, look at this one, or hey, look at that one. We don't need 20 other universes.
Yeah, I told Dima, I was like, you know, I personally think they should have just did a hard reboot after Endgame.
Yes.
You can have like some like the last Spider-Man movie was obviously a huge deal, and I think it played into the nostalgic bait, as we're going to call it, pretty well. Because it's like it wasn't just a cameo; they actually mattered in context of the story.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that, but other than having send-offs, I think a hard reboot would have been nice after Endgame because now you're bringing in Fantastic Four. Have you watched? I'm sure you've seen the trailers for that.
Yes, I'm actually watching it on Thursday. We're doing a midnight showing.
Oh, nice. I'm trying to go see it. I'm trying to work in it. I got a busy week. But it looks like it's very much its own world or universe almost. Like it doesn't look like it's in the canon MCU timeline.
I don't.
At,
It's
at least
not because did you watch Thunderbolts?
no. See, that's the other thing. I haven't seen Thunderbolts yet. And I know there's like an Easter egg and
Mm-hmm.
credit thing for that. That was all over
Yeah,
Twitter.
that plays into this.
Okay. But so with that being said, that's a perfect way to start off something new. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but instead you're going to take it, and I'm worried you're going to convolute it with trying to force it into what we already have established over the past 15 years. And it's like, I don't know if that's going to work for me. I don't know. It
Mm-hmm.
Not just me, just general audience. I feel like it's just getting way too chaotic and crazy for people to, and that's what Deem and I were talking about is like, you have all these miniseries and movies, and they all have end credit teases that bring in a new character that wasn't even a part of that show or movie. And then we never
Mm-hmm.
see or hear from them again.
Yeah.
My favorite one to talk about, because it's so ridiculous, is Scar, Hulk's son that appears at the end of
Oh
She-Hulk.
yeah, I hated that show so much.
Okay, me too. But what was that? Like what? Like
Hulk got
They just
busy.
keep bringing in random people.
well, first off, we have Smart Hulk, which I'm over that.
Stupid.
He
Yeah.
looks like Vacation Hulk because he's in a beach shirt and he's like, "Here's my
Mm-hmm.
son." It's like, cool. Why does that matter at all?
Yeah.
Because there's no context. Like it's just. I guess we're left to assume he probably had a son on whatever planet that was that Thor found him
Oh,
on.
Sakaar. Yeah, Sakaar.
Sakaar, yeah.
I know it's in the comics. I haven't read it.
I haven't either, and I'm like kind of familiar with the Planet Hulk
Mm-hmm.
premise, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I was telling Dean, I was like, I don't think we're going to see Scar because I don't even think we're going to see She-Hulk again. Like, I really don't see how she's going to play into anything going on right now. I just,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention people still just want Hulk, like that's a whole other thing, but we're trying to tell all these stories and we don't even have our mains established,
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have Iron Man, we don't have the original Captain America anymore. We don't have Thor.
Mm-hmm. It's just a mess.
Yeah. Oh, we got a comment here.
Oh, that's true.
Well,
Unless it was lined in lead.
That was my thought.
Yeah, that was my thought too. Or, there's the whole like exposition of Clark's glasses and how he's able to make people see a different
Mm-hmm.
version of his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, would his clone not be able to do that? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, that does raise an interesting point. I mean, so let me ask you guys, when Lex was able just to go to the Fortress of Solitude and it just comes up out of the ground, you see the engineer looking like, oh, okay. And then she's like, well, how are we going to get in? He's like, I got it. And then the door just opens. Like, did you just think, okay, Ultraman is a clone of Superman? Or did you?
Yeah.
Okay, because I did. That, like, my first time watching it, I was like, Ultraman is going to be a clone of Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Because we see he's the hammer of Bulgaria or whatever, and like that's who kicks Superman's ass in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, this guy has to like be of Kryptonian descent or something, because he's whooping his ass like Doomsday,
Right.
Or Zod. So yeah, it's just like this has to be somebody on par with him, and then that just kind of confirmed it because I'm like, I know everyone else there doesn't have Kryptonian blood, has to be the masked man. So yeah, I mean, it is kind of a plot hole, but I feel like they give us enough in the movie that we can kind of put together how that would be possible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also trying to think. Oh yeah, there are scenes. There's actually multiple scenes. I was trying to think if Superman's ever actually around Ultraman in that mask before that fight, but he is, because when he gets arrested, Ultraman's like literally walking him. And
Mm-hmm.
okay, because I would say that the hammer suit could definitely be lined with lead.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I appreciate the comment. Oh, that's been there for a while. I didn't see that earlier. I'm a great host. There's like so much we could talk about when it comes to comic book movies.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're going to talk about Memento, we should probably start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on Superman or the DCU, things you guys hope to see or not see?
I mean, other than me as Nightwing,
Okay.
no.
I could see you
Hope it
being.
does well.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
See, that's a good mindset, because a lot of people want things to fail, so the things they liked before might have a chance to come back. And I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
for one, that's not how the movie business works, and two, I always
Mhm.
want, like, even something I'm not excited about. For example, I was not excited for the Shazam movie in the
Mhm.
DCEU. I
Mm-hmm.
ended up enjoying it. It surprised me, like, at least the first one.
Yeah.
For what it was, I enjoyed it. But I wanted it to be good, just because if it's good, that means everything else will be good. Because, like, if that's a success, it's going to make money. The studio will be more willing to put more money into other things and greenlight other projects that I would want. So
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate your mindset on that, because it's not a common one.
No.
There's so many people, especially online, that just want things to fail, and it's like,
Yeah.
the amount of like hate mobs for Superman before it came out was pretty crazy. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I'm with you. I hope everything's good. I'm actually intrigued about Peacemaker season 2.
Yeah.
James Gunn announced on an interview that was released yesterday, I believe, that it's going to be very similar to Spider-Man No Way Home
Mm-hmm.
and Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, in terms of like how it explores the possibility of like other realities and other. So I have no doubt, like, no matter what we see, it won't be like too overbearing, because I think the whole point
Mm-hmm.
of this is to bring his Peacemaker into the DCU.
Yeah.
But I am intrigued. I mean, we know we're gonna get the Justice Gang in there, and I would almost bet we'll get a Superman cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's a possibility.
Because they were filming at the same time, which is why there's the Peacemaker cameo in Superman,
Mm-hmm.
and he's talking some stuff. So I feel like Superman will have to pay that back in his own
Mm-hmm.
Superman way, but So, not to mention, the first season of Peacemaker ends with a shadowy Superman.
Yeah.
I can see James Gunn playing off of that. Like, we see a
Mm-hmm.
shadowy Superman, but then he comes into the light and it's David Cornsweet.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. But,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm excited for Peacemaker season 2, as crazy as it is to say.
Yeah.
All right. Well, man, when we do these Batman movies, it's gonna be
6 hours long.
hefty discussion. All right, Memento. Oh, God, I've been dreading this for such a long time, but I am excited about it. So, Caitlin, Dima sent me your list.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to say, because you said on there it's your favorite Christopher Nolan movie, correct?
It is. Mm-hmm.
All right. I think it's almost always been for me since the first time I watched it,
Mm-hmm.
but it does frustrate me, and it's not because it's like a mind fuck. It's because I have a little bit of a gripe with some of the execution in this movie. But it's funny because what he's pulling off is so incredible. I almost feel like I'm being too nitpicky, you know, like, but my personal favorite Christopher Nolan movie is Interstellar. That movie, I like that there's not things I can question because it's tackling a science that I don't understand. So it makes me think endlessly. Whereas this movie makes me think, but all it does is make me think within context to the movie. And that's the things that kind of frustrate me. And I feel like that's Dima's problem with the ending. Dima, do you understand the story and how it's written out?
I do.
Like
it wasn't what I was
versus...
expecting.
Okay.
So, like I expected, because I read the synopsis for it, and what I was expecting was just your basic movie where it takes place right after his wife is murdered, and it like the ending was going to be him killing the dude. But he pretty much kills the dude in the beginning, and it is just playing off everything else that took place in between those two timelines or points in time.
Yeah. Okay. I was just making sure before we got started, because it definitely helps to understand that.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's an extended DVD release where you can watch it in linear fashion. Like, so you have all the black and white.
That.
Yeah. I was kind of surprised to hear that, but when you said you wanted to do this, I was like, you know what? I've never tried to go down a rabbit hole on Reddit or YouTube with this movie. So I tried the other day, and I kind of regretted it within the first 10 minutes because people get very carried away with what this movie is. Because I'm like, if you literally listen to Christopher Nolan talk about it, it's not like that complex.
Right.
The way he delivers it to us that's what's cool. But yeah. So anyways, it was fun to do that, but that was one of the things I learned is that there is a version of it out there on DVD where it just plays the movie in chronological order.
Cool.
So that would be interesting. And apparently it makes you realize how simple of a story it is.
Yeah.
So I guess before we get started, we'll go ahead and rate this. I give this movie a 4.5 stones. It's almost perfect.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. 4.5.
That's what I gave it.
Look at that.
All right. Hold on 1 second. I just unplugged my MacBook. It's about to die.
Rookie mistake.
Well, it doesn't help that every time I'm on here, I'm in a new setup.
That's fair.
If you go to my trailer reaction for Mortal Kombat, I'm literally outside. Like, I miss our studio, Dima.
I do too. It's on the list.
I'm kind of wanting to just like start going to random places like Starbucks or something. Like, I'll be on here, just people in the background doing whatever. Right. All right. So, Caitlin, since this is your favorite movie, I want to just start off by letting you talk about what you like about this movie.
Okay. Okay, so Guy, the actor, just for me, he sold this entire movie. Like, I feel like if this movie sucked, I feel like I would still like it because of his performance. Like, he just sold it. This is probably one of my favorite performances I've ever seen given by an actor, because it's a movie where you go in and you really don't know anything. Like, you're learning as he's learning, because obviously he doesn't really remember anything.
Yeah.
And so going in with that mindset and having to actually pay attention to every single detail, it was mind-blowing to see. Like, this is a movie, my first rewatch, I was rewinding and going back, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, same.
And I would rewind and I'd rewatch it. And I'd be like, okay. And then I'd rewind it one more time. So it took me a while to get through through this movie the first time.
Same. I actually almost didn't finish it the first time I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
It's
needed
so much
the mental break.
information.
Yeah, it's like I needed the mental break almost.
Mm-hmm. It's like watching Lost.
Yeah.
And then having that whole him. What I found really interesting is him telling the story of the entire movie, and you having like you as the audience having no idea that that's actually what really happened to his wife was just, it baffled me. Like I've never seen anything like that before. And I
Yeah.
thought that was just really, really creative. And you
Yeah.
had, I think, wasn't the, I think these words, I think this movie was written by his brother, by
Yes.
Christopher Nolan's brother.
Yeah.
And I've had this thought when I was picking a movie to watch, the first time I watched this movie, I was like, I was like, if Christopher Nolan makes all these great movies and having his brother write this movie, it has to be one of the greatest movies ever. Because if you have two Nolans, like two, like if two Nolans
Yeah.
working on one thing, like this has to be something
Super
that's
Nolan.
truly incredible. And it is. It really,
Yeah.
Nolan squared. Like it's just, it is a powerful film.
It's funny you mentioned that. Like really quick, we're gonna backtrack to James Gunn. Deem and I are huge fans of Brightburn, and that is the Gunn brothers. Like that is a
Mm-hmm.
Gunn brothers production.
Yeah.
And if I might be mistaken, I think James was the writer for that. Like his brother was a director. I think he did the
Mm-hmm.
writing. Their other brother did the screenplay stuff, like
Yeah.
storyboarding and whatever. But I was like,
Mm-hmm.
when they came together, they made something. Like I thought that movie was so cool.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
it even teases at the end that there's like more beings out there. Like they could turn this into like a whole cinematic universe. And I just thought
Mm-hmm.
that was really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's something to be said about directors coming together with their brothers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's really cool with this is Nolan has said in interviews that his storyboarding for this film was based off of his brother telling him the story verbally before it was ever written down.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't even organized pen to paper yet. It was just like he was talking on a long car ride, and that's what he did the story. Like that's how he based this mapping of the movie. Apparently the short story is in Esquire magazine, which is interesting. They just post like or publish the whole thing in Esquire
Mm-hmm.
magazine. So
That's crazy.
I guess that's out there somewhere. Dima, what do you like about this movie?
I mean, just from a writing standpoint, like it's difficult enough to write a full movie script, the chronological order. But then when you start bouncing back and forth, and the actor has to portray that he doesn't recognize somebody or remember somebody as in depth as this, I mean, the whole thing was just sold from Guy's performance of what's his face, Leonard, and from the writing standpoint, like it was just amazing all the way around. The difficulty, the level of intelligence that it takes to be able to put this movie on is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing I'll point out positively about this movie is Christopher Nolan like successfully made a blueprint for how he would do the rest of his movies, the rest of his career.
Mm-hmm.
And you can literally pinpoint certain things in this film that are literally the entire basis off of why a whole movie was made. The intro of this, where it goes into reverse, like the bullets go back in the gun, the Polaroid's being shaken, but it fades away. That's Tenet. That is literally
Yes.
Tenet in
100%.
a couple of seconds. And I just think it's so cool that like I said, it's like he almost made like an anthology of his movies in one film, and it's his first film. Because I think before this, he just had writing credits for a few projects, but
Mm-hmm.
Like, this was his first entry into the film world, and it's a massive, arguably one of the biggest entries for a director in their first film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's hard for me to put into words how important this movie is. But if we just narrow it down to him and his career, like I said, it's literally he made the roadmap for how he would.
Yeah.
So yeah, I I have such a deep appreciation for this movie, and Guy being the actor for the protagonist. One of the things I came across, and it looks like it's true, is that Brad Pitt was almost the casting for this.
Oh wow.
And then he had scheduling conflicts. And then this one's kind of crazy. Aaron Eckhart, who played Two-Face in The Dark Knight, that was who almost was locked in. Like, because when Brad Pitt couldn't do it, which that was the studio pick, Christopher Nolan wanted Aaron Eckhart. And then he ended up going with Guy because it was more cost effective. Because this movie had a very low budget. So
yes.
And I think that's crazy because I can't really picture, this role, like you said, he does such a good job with it. It's hard to picture, like, no matter how big of a name it is, it's hard to picture anyone else delivering this performance the way that he did. So yeah, I'm glad it happened the way it did. Might not be the movie that it is.
And you also have, I mean, you had Carrie Ann Moss and
I always
Joe,
forget this, but
whatever his name is. Yes, and they're both in The Matrix. Like, they probably just got off of that whole trilogy.
Oh yeah, because this came out in 2000, didn't
it? Yeah.
So that would have been right around the same time. I
Mm-hmm.
hadn't even thought about that. Huh.
So they're like riding that high of, we just did 3 like mind-blowing movies, and now they're doing this with a relatively unknown actor. I don't really know what else Guy Pearce has been in besides Memento, and he just did another movie.
He was in LA. He was in LA Confidential.
Yep. Iron Man 3.
Yeah, he played the bad guy.
Yeah, he was in Iron Man 3.
Trying to remember. I feel like there's another.
He was just nominated for an award for whatever movie last award season.
Yeah, he was. What was that?
And I can't remember what the movie was.
The Brutalist.
Yeah.
Oh, was it The Brutalist? Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
I haven't either. But yeah, it's like one of those things. Like you mentioned, The Matrix. Will Smith said on a podcast recently that he turned down The Matrix. Like,
he did.
He was originally going to be Neo.
Yeah, with him and I think Val Kilmer was supposed to be Morpheus.
Yeah. Which that's like alternate reality type stuff. I don't even know. I can't even imagine that. So I imagine we all have maybe our own ideas or theories about what's going on, or maybe we just agree with what's being told to us at the end of this movie. So I kind of thought it'd be cool to hear what you guys think is happening in this movie or what its message is. And I guess to like make more sense of this, as a narrator, Leonard is like telling us things, but he's also proving in the movie that he is not the most reliable. And my favorite example is the license plate. Because the last 3 letters change in context to him. Like, it's a 7-1U or 7IU, I think. Whatever. I can't remember what the sequence is, but I know like an I and a 1 change literally from his perspective of looking at the license plate. So I'm like, okay, so we're being told in small instances like that he's not the most reliable. And it's also like, why would he be when he doesn't have short-term memory? So I'm curious if you guys agree with him, I guess, or not. And then if you don't agree with him, what do you think is happening?
No, I don't know if I would would agree with him 100%. Because like you said, he is a very unreliable narrator. But I think there are aspects that are true, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I do think that obviously he did kill his wife. Like, that is, he did.
Yes.
100%.
Do you agree with that, Dima?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Now, in the context of like, if it truly follows the story of Sam, or if it follows his actual story, is kind of up in the air. I would like to think that he just, misdosed. But I mean, there's also evidence that says that he probably didn't.
Do you think? I'm sorry, Dima. Did you have an answer for my question before I ask the next?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much what Caitlin said. I believe he killed her, or yeah, I believe Teddy actually killed his wife.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, I mean, the picture said, don't trust his lies. But I think he was being honest with. I think his wife was the diabetic, so I feel like he made up Sammy to kind of deal with that. I'm not saying he, to that degree to where he ended up giving her like 3-4 shots in a row, but I think his wife was the diabetic, and then I mean, she was killed and everything, but I think it was a little exaggerated with the diabetic side of things in his own mind with Sammy versus himself.
Okay, so we think Teddy is telling the truth at the end of the movie?
To a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You want to elaborate on that?
I think he was just, I mean, he was obviously a compulsive liar.
Teddy?
He's a
Teddy.
character that's there to save his own skin.
Yes.
Yes.
I think he was intentionally pointing Leonard away from him, but there's still some truth to it, to certain things he was telling him. Like, I think he killed the one guy because Teddy pointed him that way, because Teddy may actually have been a cop in the moment or at the time or whatever. So he was using that to his benefit and got close to him, but he was still making up lies to distract him from himself.
Yeah. So I think this is what it's so frustrating for me to try to explain what I think, but like, I think Leonard almost has a history that we're not even privy to. Like, because we're kind of shown throughout this movie that he's getting used, like he's getting taken advantage of because of his condition, his current state, to benefit other people. Now, where he is problematic for them is he's aware of his condition, so he does things like tattooing, taking pictures, taking notes. So we even see how people try to make him write down different things and get rid of pictures. And so I almost wonder if we're just seeing a guy whose past is almost not known other than the context we're being given in the black and white. But that's him, and this is what makes it so cool for me. That's him being in denial of his own past. So he's talking about it through the narrative of, someone he made up.
Yeah.
And I think that is a side effect of a mental breakdown from killing his own wife.
Oh, wow.
So I think the black and white is true. And that's why it's moving forward.
Mhm.
And I think everything else is not necessarily not true, but we don't know what's coming, just like our protagonist, because we don't know what happened before.
Mhm.
So we're led to focus on, because the brain is naturally drawn toward colors. That's why, like,
Yes.
if you go and watch a movie, you're probably going to pick color versus black and white,
Mhm.
unless you're weird like me and you like old artsy black and white films.
Yeah.
But uh, so I think it's brilliant on Christopher Nolan's hand, and I haven't seen him say this. Because he's somebody who likes to leave things to your interpretation.
Right.
Mhm.
I truly believe the color is a distraction from the truth, and the truth is that he did kill his own wife. He does suffer from short-term memory loss, and I think he's telling us his truth in the black and white, and then that black and white is sprinkled in between what's going backwards, and that's just a distraction. That's all things that have I don't want to say conjured, but like things that have come to be in a later time in his life.
Mhm.
I feel like his wife has been dead for a lot longer than what we're even told in the movie. He even says, like, this isn't word for word, but like when he wakes up in bed with Natalie, he likes that he can't remember how long it's been since his wife died because it makes him
Mhm.
feel better, or whatever. Like, I almost believe it's been a very long time. Like he's a person who's been stuck in this cycle of, like, you know, knowing he can't remember, and then he runs into people and they alter his routine and to
Mhm.
fit their narrative and what benefits them. And it's kind of, I mean, I feel like we're just kind of being thrown in the middle of this guy's life, and all this stuff has happened, and like the way it's being presented to us, we're just like I said, distracted
Yeah.
Mhm.
by the very straight and forward narrative that's being told to us in the black and white. Um, I I do wonder if, because we see him tattooing himself and then going and getting tattoos.
Right.
Mhm.
I'm wondering if him as a narrator, and a lot of things we see aren't like actually things that happened. Like all the scenes, which this is interesting to me as well, all the scenes with his wife are in color.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there's one shot of him laying in bed with her, and that spot on his chest where he doesn't have a tattoo, it says "I did it," but we
Yeah.
obviously know he didn't get that tattoo in context to like the time frame of the story.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I don't think that actually happened. That's just like him maybe dreaming about it.
Mhm.
Um, so if that being said, I have to wonder if like him tattooing himself actually happened, or if that was a dream. Like,
Mhm.
or
Wow.
if him going to a
Yeah.
tattoo shop, because I think him tattooing himself is actually in black and white, so it'd be the tattoo shop that would be in question.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's almost cemented into my brain that I can trust the black and white, and then whatever is outside of that is going
Mhm.
backwards, and I don't know if it's true or not. Like that's kind of how I look at it. Um, and then you add up him making up a character that did what he did, you know. So there's something else, and I'm sorry I'm going on a long tangent right now, but something that makes me question his background as well. When he goes to there's a scene where he goes to a hotel room. I don't remember if he's looking for Dodd. It might be where she said Dodd is, where Natalie told him.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
whatever happens, he puts a card in the uh, latch of the door, and he kicks the door open.
Mhm.
And what he does is like he does that, and he knocks, and he waits to see a shadow through like the little view hole. I was like, that was very tactical
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
makes no sense for what his line of work is.
Right.
So that was interesting to me. That
Mhm.
and that's the only time we really see that tactical prowess.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, it just made me it's weird how that one scene really impacted my thought of him. Like, because that was on purpose, you know, like that was done intentionally.
Right.
Like, because I wouldn't think to do that, you know, if I'm going to like, I don't know. So just something I wanted to throw out there. Do you guys have any thoughts on anything I said? I know it was a lot, and I'm sorry.
No,
I
I mean
think
it all makes as much sense as it can.
mhm.
Um,
Do you have any theories about like the black and white scenes versus the color?
I didn't really pick up on that the way you did. I mean, I just kind of took black and white as like a I don't know, because usually if it's like real saturated with color or black and white, it's usually a memory
Yeah.
in most
Mhm.
films. So that's kind of how I took both of those. It was just memories.
I think the fact that we're being told we can't trust his memory, that's why I want to
Right.
trust the black. You know what I mean? It's almost
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
I want to go against what you're telling me because
Right.
when I
Mhm.
can't trust things, you're almost showing me that I can't. You know, it's a
Right.
weird mind game. It's tough.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about the brain, it's a very powerful thing. And when you go through certain traumas that the brain thinks is too much for whoever to handle, it will put up it will put up roadblocks, it will distort anything and everything it can.
Mm-hmm.
So you or whoever went through that trauma may not even know what happened. Like they could go their rest of their life without even realizing something even happened to them.
Yeah.
So I think with like the memory aspects of the movie very much heavily go off of that. So I mean, you really don't actually know what is real and what isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to so I'll tell you one gripe that I have every time I watch this movie.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, it is happening in the color, which, you know, my brain always has to find like order. So like I said, when I've watched this in recent years, I know, you know, the black and white's going forward, just like on, you know, if you've seen Christopher Nolan's chalkboard, it literally is going forward and the color's going backwards. So I've associated that as like that's true, that's solid, and then everything else isn't and is left to my interpretation or for me to figure out because I'm doing exactly what the protagonist is trying to do, and that is figure out what's going on. Like he doesn't know,
Hmm.
you know,
Right.
most of the time or can't remember. How how does he know if he says the last memory he has is when his wife died?
Mhm.
Hmm.
How does he wake up and just automatically know he has this condition?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it's weird to compare it to this, but it's the only thing I can think of that is in the same realm. 50 First Dates with Adam Sandler
I
and Drew
knew
Barrymore.
you were gonna
Yeah.
bring that up.
She wakes up and literally has like a whole video telling her about what's going on
Yeah.
and I'm
Hmm.
just like, as ridiculous as that is, that makes sense to me, you
Right.
know, like
Hmm.
as someone who had a mom with severe dementia, like
Mhm.
she didn't remember stuff. Like we had to constantly tell her, like, and she didn't know she had it, you know?
Right.
So when I
Hmm.
watch this, I have a hard time believing that. And not only that, but this movie shows us that within 15 seconds, he will forget what just happened.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And he has conversations that are longer than that, but then he's able to remember that he has a photo in his pocket that he can check for information.
Hmm.
So that bothers me too. I'm like, how do you remember that you have this information on you?
It's almost like
Yeah.
he doesn't have the memory loss, and it's just a act.
Which is a theme in this,
Yeah.
right? Like that's a heavy theme when he's telling, his story, as I'm going to call it. So, yeah, I don't know. That's the thing. It's like it is a problem I have, but then I'm like, I know Christopher Nolan doesn't do things unintentionally, so there has to be a reason for it. Like,
right.
But that's what bothers me is like if you're just watching this movie and you just follow it along and listen to everything you're being told, it's like that doesn't make sense that he just wakes up. Yeah, it's too bad because I do love the way they play with the memory loss. One of my favorite scenes is like when he's literally in the middle of chasing or getting chased by Dodd, and he can't remember, like in mid-run, like, okay, I'm running. Oh, I'm chasing this guy. Oh, never mind, he's chasing me again.
Yeah.
I thought that was really entertaining. And then a scene that actually there's two scenes in this that give me chills. And one of them is when Natalie literally goes outside and then comes back in.
Yep.
And he doesn't remember that he just like harmed her. And like that was just like, wow. And then I guess real quick, the other scene that gives me chills is when he's on the phone. And he literally reads his tattoo that says, "Don't answer the phone."
Yeah.
And he was talking like regularly before he saw that tattoo. And then he just goes, "Who is this?" And then you just hear them hang up.
Like,
I was like, oof. That's So do you guys have any favorite scenes?
The phone is actually my favorite scene in that movie. Where he's like, "Who is this?" And they just hang up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I really like that.
I kind of like the bar scene. Where the dude spits in the beer, and then she has him spit in the beer and then test him to see if he's actually forgetful.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, that scene goes along with what we're saying. Like, is this real or is this fake? Because it's like she doesn't believe him. Like, yeah, this is bullshit. Like, so let's test you. But then looking into that scene more after this conversation, when she gives him the beer, he drinks it, and then the regulars started laughing, and then he suddenly just stops drinking it. So it was weird because it kind of played on like, yeah, he forgot about it at first, but then that reminded him, or maybe he just did it just to make it seem like he forgot already, and so kind of plays in with the theme.
Yeah. It's funny how like I go from liking Natalie to just hating her, like as a character.
Yep.
She comes off as someone who's like a friend or a companion to him in this crazy time, and they both went through a similar traumatic experience with a loved one, and then you just realize she's just using him, and kind of awful, like So there's an interesting thing I came across on Reddit that I want to point out. I think I put it in my notes. The doctor that hold on 1 second. I wrote this down somewhere. It's the doctor that in the story Sammy Jenkins is going to. He also plays a doctor in The Dark Knight Rises. And that actor has apparently said that from what he was given as an actor, he believes those are the same character.
Oh, wow.
That'd be interesting.
It is interesting. It's one of those like things where people always want like all the movies from one director to be in the same universe, or there's a crazy theory that a lot of Leonardo DiCaprio's movies are all in the same. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting that he's apparently stated that a few times. Which if you look up his casting, Like his name is literally just Doctor.
Yep.
In both. So that is interesting.
That is interesting.
And I could see Christopher Nolan doing something like that just for fun.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Caitlin, do you agree with me that Lenny or Leonard was Sammy the whole time, or do you actually think Sammy was a person?
I think that Sammy is something that he created as a way to cope. I really don't think. I mean, if Sammy is real, I'd love to see that whole thing play out. But
Mm-hmm.
no, I don't. I think Sammy is an idea
Okay.
that his brain constructed for him to kind of not feel so bad about killing his wife, to kind of try to alleviate some guilt, because again, Sammy killed his wife. So
Yeah, it's weird because there's a lot of people that think Leonard and Sammy are just two people that had very similar things happen to them, and like that this story is basically showing karma play into
yeah.
effect. Like he denied that insurance claim, he benefited himself getting a lot of money and whatever, and obviously Sammy's wife had to pay out of pocket for things, which made hard times even harder. So it is interesting to like toy around with that possibility, but there is one scene, and again, it's in color, so we know we can't trust our protagonist as a narrator, but like it shows Sammy, and then like somebody walks by, and then it's Leonard sitting in the chair in that home or whatever he's in. So it's almost like directly telling us like it is him sitting there, or yeah, I don't know. So something I thought was worth mentioning, because she talked about Guy Pearce being such a great actor in this. Apparently all the dialogue in the black and white scenes was improvised.
Oh wow.
Really?
Yeah. So that's interesting. And Deem and I are big fans of Todd Phillips' first Joker film, and there was a lot of improvised scenes, dialogue in that. I think it's cool, and it really is a testament to the actors when that's able to be pulled off and left in the final cut of a film.
Yeah.
But knowing, if our whole arc is literally a U, and like the bottom part of that's the black and white, and that's all improvised, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Very impressive.
Yeah. That surprises me though, because there was an interview with Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer, and they were like, "Oh, is there like any improv in this movie?" And he was like, "No, it's you go with what Nolan's script is, and that's that."
Which I can believe that. He comes off as someone who is very much like pulling the strings, like he doesn't let anything else. So yeah, I don't know. It is interesting, but
at the same time, I mean, that's like 19 years later from when this movie was released. So, if with this being with this being his first project in this role, it would make sense for him to be okay with the actors doing what they think is best at certain times.
Yeah.
Versus, unless if he specifically said, like, I intentionally did not write the dialogue for these scenes. You are to make up whatever you think is best in this moment. This is what it is, and this is where I want it to go. Just make it happen. So he still could have been pulling the strings on that, maybe just in a different route at that point in his career, versus now where he's well aware of exactly what he's wanting at the exact time. So, it could go either way with that.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything of Nolan talking about that, but it is cited in a lot of articles. And I believe it just because at the time he was in a different place with filmmaking. Like this is a time when he wasn't like a reputable director. So like now, if he's a free agent, like he's, I'm trying to remember what studio he's signed with right now, but he used to be with Warner Brothers, and
Just
it's like when
Universal, I think.
I think so. That's what I was gonna say. When he became a free agent, he got picked up quick. Like there's no messing around with, and he knows that. He knows that he's money. Like he's got a name. But at this point, you hear him talking about budget concerns, and it's so weird. Like Christopher Nolan, like worrying about a budget, and
Right.
and he's talking about making a movie based off of a story he was told verbally. Like that's weird too. Like I don't know. So I do believe, because I feel like he was at a different time. Like he was more free with creativity, and he probably realized he had a talent in front of him with Guy Pearce. Like he probably gave him plot points and said, "Do your thing." So yeah, I just think it's cool. Like if that is the truth, it's really cool to watch that movie and know that Guy Pearce was, just doing his thing.
Right. Yeah.
So, I think I have one more thing. Caitlin, did you have anything you specifically want to talk about with this movie, other than it's the best thing ever?
I mean, it is the best thing, but I also made notes for this movie. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah. I make notes for everything. If you
I
look
love
at like
this.
my notes app on my phone, I have like hundreds, probably thousands of just
I'm just gonna tell you.
ramblings.
I'm gonna tell you right now, because I know Dima's already thinking it. You are more than welcome to come back on here anytime. You, I don't know, your contribution to this episode has been amazing, and I could see that down the road for sure. So, just
I
letting you know,
appreciate that.
anytime you want
This
to come
was
on
fun.
here, you just reach out to us.
Yeah.
But this list thing is great, because I always, like, I literally have a list written down for both movies. So I think it's cool that you do that. So. First off, are these positives or negatives, or is it just kind of mixed?
It's kind of just general notes for this movie, because there's just, I mean, because if I start getting into like positives and negatives, I could be here all day. Like this movie is it's one that you can just really nitpick.
Yeah.
I do think that this is definitely one of his more like ambiguous films. Like I don't know, I heard this, I forget who said it, but someone said one of like the actors that has worked with Nolan was like, he's such an indie filmmaker with with like an infinite budget.
Yeah.
And I really think you can see that across all of his films. Even this one, like, yeah, probably didn't have such a big budget, but I mean, you can't really tell the difference.
No.
Because it's just, he makes stuff, all of his movies are so cinematic in their own individual way. And they're all, I mean, except for, Inception and Tenet are very similar in my eyes.
Yes.
But everything else is so individualized.
Yeah.
And so unique in their own way. I mean, like now he's getting into more like adaptations, because now he just did Oppenheimer, and that movie was a revolution. It was amazing. And now he's doing The Odyssey, which is another.
Dima can tell you, we saw the trailer for that yesterday, or the teaser. I knew probably 5 or 6 months ago that he was at least considering doing Odyssey, or that he was picked to do it. That is like one of my earliest, most favorite stories. So I am personally very excited to see what he does with Odysseus and like that entire story in general. Like I told him, I was like, Christopher Nolan's take on this is going to be something to be highly regarded. Like I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, well, they're already doing all the tickets sold out for the like.
I saw that.
Damn.
And they're like selling for hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, they're Dima, listen to this. People are reselling movie theater tickets.
I'd be pissed.
Well, it's because, like she said, Oppenheimer was like this like it was such a big thing.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, it's weird. It's like Christopher Nolan's almost made an even bigger name for himself somehow.
Right.
Like, I don't even know how that's possible, but yeah.
I'm surprised he allowed it,
I am
to
too.
be completely honest, because it's
Yeah.
such an egotistical move, at least in my eyes, to be like, yeah, my movie's so great. Like, you can just go ahead and buy tickets for it now. Like, to me, that's so not what I would expect from Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it was a studio move, but I really hope he does the Iliad as well. And to have that,
Oh.
I would die.
Yeah. Well, I hope so.
But we'll see.
Yes. And I do agree with you on his films all like having their own like theme and feel. It's weird. It's like Christopher Nolan has his own like touch for sure, like any director, but he's also good at making these movies have their own feel to them. And you know, like I'm a big music person. He of course works with Hans Zimmer a lot, and that's why Interstellar is my favorite movie, because even where the movie lacks in a lot of aspects, the music carries me. Like I'm very biased when it comes to like the music and films, and like that score is just so good. So good. So yeah. And if you see it in IMAX, it'll literally just blow you away. So if you want to go down your list, I guess we'll just remark as you go.
I don't have much.
Okay.
Because it was also like 1 in the morning when I wrote this. Let's see, we talked about the cast, and we actually talked about most of this already. Talked about that. Talked about the ending. I did like the score for this movie a lot. It's very, to me, it's definitely more subtle, but I did enjoy it. Because it's a movie that you could probably take the score out and be fine, but I feel like the score just adds an extra layer that's just purely it's just satisfaction for me, at least.
Yep.
I think it's interesting that when this movie came out, it was around the same time as like 50 First Dates and Finding Nemo. So I would like to think that Memento somehow influenced those movies. Probably didn't, but I hope that they did. I hope it did. It'd be extremely satisfying.
That's definitely a possibility, especially with 50 First Dates.
Yeah.
Because both are based on a traumatizing event that causing memory loss. Well,
same with Dory.
And
Finding
same with
Nemo,
Dory.
so yeah.
So there's definitely a good chance that it inspired them. At least Nemo. Can't remember when 50 First Dates came out.
It was around that time.
Yeah, it was about 4 years later. So
yeah. That's interesting to point out, actually, how it probably inspired those. And that's the other thing with Christopher Nolan is like I feel like he does inspire other films. I can't remember what it's called. Wait, The Adjustment Bureau with Matt Dillon, or not Matt?
Sounds like a movie.
Hold on, I don't know why it's kind of coming back to me. I'm trying to remember. It's like
it's Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Yeah, it is. So it's called The Adjustment Bureau. Like they go through doors, and the doors can go into like somewhere across the world, or.
Oh yeah.
I remember like the first time I watched that, I was like, this feels like a Christopher Nolan concept, like the way he plays with time and our like perception of reality. And there's another movie that kind of gives me Christopher Nolan vibes. I can't remember what it is right now. Yeah, I definitely think he is one of the best filmmakers of our time. And Memento, I guess it's just because, like I said, it frustrates me. So it's hard for me to say it's my favorite movie of his. But it's definitely one of the top ones. I got to ask you, what is your opinion of Tenet, just overall?
Tenet is my least favorite Christopher Nolan movie. I think that's the general
Mine
consensus
too.
consensus
Yeah.
for a lot of people. I am grateful the movie came out because it did kind of relaunch Robert Pattinson
Yes.
and kind of gave John David Washington some legs in this
Yeah.
crazy industry.
Um,
But I really do think it just didn't. It was so Inception.
Yeah.
It was so Inception. Like, Inception is not one of my favorite Christopher Nolan movies either. It's just a lot to handle, but I really do
It is.
think it's still good. Like, it does what Tenet just didn't do.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like Inception, I think it's good, regardless of my opinion of a film. If I feel like I need to rewatch a movie, I'm like, that's a good thing. You know, like uh, Inception, I definitely had many rewatches of. Tenet, I tried to watch one other time, other than when I watched it the first time, and I don't even think I finished it. As much as I hate saying that, I think I kind of got lost in it and just was like, eh.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but I think he recognized that that wasn't working, and that's why we've seen him veer off into these other, like Oppenheimer. Like doing a historical piece like that is great.
Yeah.
And now Odyssey. I don't know if I have been more excited for a Christopher Nolan movie. So
Yeah. We got the poster for it like last week.
gosh.
And I opened it and it's kind of funny. I squealed and one of the other managers was like, he opened the door and he's like, "Are you good?" I was so excited. I was like jumping up and down because it's a really cool poster. But also it's just the fact that it's like we're getting closer and like the set photos are like coming out more often and it's just
Yeah.
I'm so
Awesome.
I'm very jealous of you working at a movie theater. When I was going to college, that was one of the jobs that I was trying to get. I had a Cinemark by my dad's house, which anyone I've taken there, they're like, okay, yeah, this is the best movie theater I've been to. Dima can attest to that. Like they have the most comfortable recliners for no reason at all. Like I know a lot of theaters have those now, but theirs specifically by my dad's house, they're just so nice.
Yeah.
But I tried to work there and they never got back to me, and I ended up working at Michael's, and that was terrible. But yeah, I just thought it'd be cool to work in a movie theater. Like I've always loved that environment, and I love movies, so I was like, if I could just watch movies whenever I wanted to, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. It's a very, very fun and a very, very, very stressful environment.
Oh, I can
And there's a lot of working parts.
I just feel like a big release when the theater's packed, like concession lines are, out the door. Like I can only imagine. I can only imagine.
Yeah. It's like I've been there for almost 4 years. So I worked for Barbie, I worked for Top Gun Maverick. I did the tail end of No Way Home. I've done I've seen Avatar, Mario.
Yeah, that's a lot. I feel like the only thing I could relate to is I used to work retail in a mall, and Black Friday was
it's terrible.
Yeah, so anytime I'm like at a theater and it's packed and there's a line going out the door, I'm like, they literally deal with Black Friday multiple times a year. Like,
yeah.
Not to mention
So,
the theater is always in shambles, and I feel so bad for the staff. Like
mhm.
popcorn, candy, drinks everywhere. Like just, gosh.
Yeah, it is very rewarding. Like Dima yesterday, he saw my entire poster collection, and it is extensive.
I may be jealous.
It's very impressive.
I may be a little jealous.
I have some hits. I do have Oppenheimer. I also have Tenet as well. I have Barbie, Nosferatu, Substance, Jaws, Monty Python,
My
Wicked
dad
Part
has
1.
My dad has like an OG Jaws poster that I've always thought was cool.
I
It's
wish.
framed in his basement.
Yeah, I have.
So do you frame them, or do you just kind of keep them rolled up?
I'm working on the frame. So right now I only have Sonic 3 is in a frame. I don't know why I put that one in a frame, to be honest, but that's in a frame. Wicked, Titanic.
The Sonic 3 has shadow. Is that the one that has shadow?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I would frame it right there.
It's a really cool poster, but Demonized Nephew that was his birthday party yesterday, was Sonic themed.
Oh, okay.
But I have that. Wicked's in a frame. The newest Looney Tunes, The Day the Earth Blew Up, is in a frame. Spider-Verse.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I don't have the first one, unfortunately, but I do have Into the Spider-Verse.
Do you ever get IMAX posters?
My theater doesn't do IMAX.
Oh, okay.
Which sucks, but
yeah, I say sometimes I'm preferable to the IMAX posters. Like I'll see like an IMAX variant poster of something, and I'm just like, that is cool. It's really random, but the Suicide Squad movie that came out in 2015 or whatever, there was an IMAX poster, and like all of the characters' heads were marshmallows and a bowl of cereal, and I thought that was so unique and cool. And I've always wanted that poster. Even though I didn't like the movie, that poster was cool.
Oh, that movie. Yeah.
You just have to go to movieposters.com and
movieposters.com.
Oh, we're doing a
They
plug
might
right
have
now?
it.
We should try to get sponsored by them.
Right.
I go on their website at least like once or twice a week just to see what they have.
Huh. Yeah, I actually forget that's a thing. I'll have to check that out. Because I like movie posters. I don't have a lot, but I do have a few. I think my favorite is the Zack Snyder's Justice League one that I have.
Oh yeah,
that one's so cool. I can't remember the comic book artist that did it, but like his style of illustrating is just so awesome.
Yeah, but I don't know. I get really jealous of my boss because he has like all of the like Infinity Saga posters except for Homecoming and Volume 2. So I'm like so jealous. Or we'll have posters up in our projector space. Some of those are really cool. Like we have these, they're like plastic, but there's Spider-Man 2, and they're really, really cool.
Damn. Well, yeah, I'm jealous. I'm very jealous. Also, I feel like you would probably have, I mean, I don't know what theater you're at, but like, I know sometimes theaters get exclusive like popcorn buckets or cups.
Yeah, and I get them for free. I take the displays home, so I have quite a few of those. But yeah, right now we have the Galactus heads and
isn't that like $80?
It's like 86 something with tax.
I mean, it's awesome, but man, I don't know if I could ever justify that.
No. Like if you're a big Marvel fan, I could see it.
Yeah, I might do that for Darkseid.
They're huge. They light up. And you have to build them yourself. Like we're not allowed to build them.
Oh. That makes sense. I was wondering how you guys would have those like stacked behind the counter. So
Yeah, so they come in these huge boxes, and there's not very many in the box. There's like 12 of them, I think, in one box.
Wow.
But yeah, it's
that's crazy.
mm-hmm. Yeah, we get those. We don't get very cool merch. Regal gets really cool merch. If you wanna, that's that's the place I would go for merch.
Regal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think
I
if
think the
there's a Regal.
last
Where's like
there's
a Regal?
there's one around in
I think there's one
Ohio.
in the east side.
I think so. There is
What-
one here. I just don't
Well,
know where it is.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I feel like it's actually close because I'm in Milford now, and I'm still kind of adjusting to this area and knowing what's all out here. But
Yeah. Well, there's a Cinemark in Milford.
there is.
I haven't been to that one. I want to go to all of the ones in the area.
Yeah, I still have not found one that's as nice as one. The one by my dad's is in Western Hills, if you know where that is.
Yeah,
Are
I know that one very, very, very well.
Oh, okay. that's the one I'm
I
referring
go there
to.
almost every day of the week.
Oh, okay. That is my favorite movie theater. I miss it dearly. I was actually joking about which I might do this because I've done like when I lived in Hamilton, I would drive out there just to go to
Yeah.
that theater. I've been talking about going there to see Fantastic Four just because I miss it.
Yeah.
When's the last time you went there?
So the last time I went there, I took my dad to see 1917. So that was a couple years
Oh,
ago.
so it's been a while.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It's changed a lot.
Oh,
Yeah, we're a little run down, but it's okay.
are the seats still nice?
Depends on what theater you're in. Depends on what row you sit in.
That's so because when they remodeled and they put those new reclining seats in, I was like, this is the best theater ever. I hope it never changes.
Yeah.
I remember I thought that. I was just like, and
So
when I was still living with my dad, I went there every week, saw a movie by myself. Every week. I'd go by myself.
Yeah.
I'd do like an early bird, just
yeah.
Great time.
You know, they changed the lobby's different. They added it's like a queue line.
Oh.
It's more convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah. It exists. It exists.
I feel like I'm gonna have to just go there and experience it.
Yeah, don't go in the morning, don't go at night. That's all I can say about that.
I'm catching a whiff of you being very cautious with what you say.
Yes.
So I will go and experience it for myself, and I'll probably be very disappointed.
It's all right. If you want the scoop, we'll talk later. But
okay, all right. Well, Dima, you want to go see Fantastic Four?
Yeah, give me like
No, don't. All right.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks.
Kaylin, I asked him last weekend, so when are you seeing Superman? Because I had just seen it that Thursday before. He was like, oh, probably like end of August. And I'm like, dude, I want to talk about this dang movie. So I texted him 2 days ago. I was like, hey, go see this movie with me. I'll buy the tickets. And he gave me some crazy availability. So we went yesterday at 9 a.m. But yeah, so now he's gonna, dude, you can't be on your phone and not see spoilers with a Marvel movie. Like, it's gonna happen. You're gonna get an email, and the email headline will say like, hey, this is what happened in the like, you gotta go see it, Dima. You gotta prioritize this.
I will.
No matter where we're at in life, we have to prioritize movies.
That's true.
And seeing them in the theater, because we will lose it one day and we're going to be sad.
Yes.
There's going to be like 8 theaters in the United States left, and we're going to be like, I'm gonna fly to Arizona to go watch this. Like, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be really bad.
Yeah.
I'll wait 6 weeks for that too.
I don't know. I missed a lot of movies this summer.
Yeah, well, Thunderbolts, I was really sad about. Like I feel like I can kind of predict what it's like, but I still wanted to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Bucky fan, so anything
he's pretty cool.
in, I'm gonna watch.
I don't know. I think the last movie I watched before Superman was Sinners. In the theater.
That is on. I wanted to see it, I couldn't because of my schedule, so I guess I can't give Dima too much of a gripe. But
it's on HBO Max. Now
I
you
was
have
gonna
no.
say, yeah, it's on my list. I was planning on watching it this weekend. I still might, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited. He told me yesterday that you said it's very good. So
yeah, my dad liked it. He doesn't like a lot of movies, but he liked it.
If you don't want to come back on more regularly, I am going to request. I gotta find your list.
There's my list is very interesting.
Well, there was one thing that you had on there, and I was like, I didn't know anyone else had watched this. I can't remember what it is right now. I thought Dima can
Tiptoes, Chef.
It was a double feature. Oh, it was her. It was her.
And her and Lost in Translation.
Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I double feature that a lot.
Yeah, you said that's a great double feature, and I immediately told him, because I have told him the same thing before. I was like, "Holy crap, we have to get her on this podcast."
Yeah.
Because I have talked about both movies, but especially her, so many times to him and the other guys in our group. You know, Jordan's always like, what are the other good Joaquin Phoenix movies? And I'm just like,
her.
How many times I got to tell you? How many times? And I think that's a good one to talk about nowadays, because the subject matter of that movie is very relevant to today's day and age. Like, we know people that are literally doing the thing that he's doing in that movie. So, or at least Dima and I do. So, yeah. Yeah. So at the very least, I'd love to have you come back on in the near future to do both of those, because I think that would be an awesome discussion.
Yeah. Well, they're connected too, which makes it even better.
And
wow.
Yeah. So both of the directors were married to each other at one point. So, and their respective movie is their comments and how their experience on being married to the other person, which I like the lore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a fun episode. So, well, I think we should probably wrap this up because we're pushing 3 hours. Hey, it's not the 5 hours we thought it would be, Dima. So
that's true.
We did better. But seriously, want to appreciate you, or say I appreciate you coming on, Caitlin. It's cool that we can finally do this. I remember like when I met you and you were talking about Letterboxd, and I think at that time we were kind of talking about like A24 movies.
Oh, A24.
Yes. And I was just like, Dima, we have to get your then fiance sister on the podcast. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to try. And so it's cool that we're finally able to do this. And I just can't say enough. Thank you for coming on. Really means a lot.
No, thanks for having me. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, well,
I don't really get to talk about movies a lot, so
that's the reason we started doing it, because like we noticed when we worked together, that's all we did was talk about movies. And then when we didn't work together anymore, we weren't talking about movies because we weren't, you know what I mean? So we started doing this, and it's fun. It's fun to sit down and just take movies apart. So yeah, we'll definitely keep you in mind for future episodes. Like I said, you're always welcome on, but we'll definitely map out specific ones for you for sure. So
yeah, please.
All right. Well, for anyone who's watching, thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed our very long discussion about Superman and comic book movies and cape figures and all that stuff. and our brief discussion about Memento. I actually am proud of us for not trying to dig too deep into that movie.
Yeah.
Very
We
proud.
easily
Yeah, we'd be here all day.
Well, we
Yeah.
could. Yeah. So we did good. I think it was a very tamed discussion.
Yes.
Mhm.
So thank you guys for tuning in. As always, hit the thumb on hand, whether it's up or down. We don't care. We just appreciate the fact that you want to let us know what you think. And please subscribe. And if you subscribe, you can comment your thoughts about us, whether they're good or bad as well. So until Tuesday, where I do my wrestling podcast, you guys will have to wait till Sunday for more movie discussion. And we'll probably start posting on Wednesdays, I think, what that episode will be. So we have like a nice routine going. Because I think we have a good idea of what we're doing, but you got to make sure people are not going to back out.
Right.
Either way, thank you guys for tuning in. And until next week, we hope you have a good week. And we'll see you next time.